Benedict would handle the Wikidata session, which is the part one of the training session we have this morning. And we might have a break depending on how sweet it gets. When it gets sweet, we were having one, I think, for the French Wikipedia. And when it got time for us to have a break, they said, no, we don't want to have a break. Continue, let's keep going. So that might be your case today. And if that's the case, then I will be handling the part two part of the training, which borders around Wikimedia Commons, Creative Commons licenses, how to use them, and intellectual property rights. Simply put, how to stay away from prison, by not violating people's copyright and intellectual property rights. So enjoy the session. Benedict, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ceslos. Looking forward to staying out of prison myself. um, welcome. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're about to start. So for this training today, I was thinking of the best way to approach this, and I think I will just go with my usual flow, which is to just dive straight into the practical rather than share slides. And so permit me to share my screen. So I'll be sharing my screen a lot. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you can see my screen now, what you're looking at, again, I'm going to be assuming that you don't know anything about Wikidata. So of course, I know some of you here already know about Wikidata, but I would assume that you have zero knowledge of what Wikidata is. And because you've probably partook in the training on Wikipedia, so I'm assuming you already know what the Wikimedia movement is. But again, Wikidata, what is Wikidata? Wikidata, this is Wikidata. What you're looking at, the screen here is Wikidata. You can see this is the landing page of Wikidata. Basically, this is the definition of what Wikidata is. Wikidata is a free and open knowledge based that can be read. It can be edited by both humans and machine. So Wikidata is part of the Wikimedia project. Again, I'm just going to do a recap of what the Wikimedia goal is, which is, again, the way I like to summarize it is just the sum of all knowledge, like making sure that everyone in the world have access to whatever information you want. Again, without any barrier. Barrier here refers to you don't have to have money to be able to access certain information. You don't need to pay for that. So the goal, the movement is just to ensure that wherever you are in the world, as long as you're a human in the world, you should be able to have access to information, to knowledge. And so that is what the movement is all about, the Wikimedia movement is all about. And in the Wikimedia movement, in order to achieve that goal, because you will agree with me that that goal is a huge one. I mean, imagine having information in different languages. I mean, same information in different languages. You need like a lot to do that. First thing you need is the platform where people can actually access that information. And one of those of such platform is the Wikipedia you have learned about, and you're probably familiar with. If you already used what's it called, internet before, you're definitely familiar with Wikipedia. You've gone through Wikipedia at some point in your life, basically, to get information. Wikidata is another platform that is still in line with the Wikimedia movement. But the difference again with Wikidata and Wikimedia is there are a lot of differences, but again, all are still on the movement. The similarity between them all is first, both of them are editable by humans, so which means you and I can edit it. The second thing that is similar also is they are both multilingual in the sense that you have Wikipedia in English, you have Wikipedia in Igbo, in Hausa, in Yoruba, in Dabani, in different languages, human languages. The same thing with Wikidata. Wikidata, you have what's it called? The informations in the different languages, like I said, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, French, Swahili, you name it. We have those languages. Um, Now, those are some of the similarities. And again, another similarity is that the information you see on Wikidata is free of charge. You don't need to pay anything for it. Same thing with Wikipedia. You don't need to pay anything for those information. There's a lot of similarities, but again, where the major differences now come in is in terms of, and of course, it's still part of the similarities. Again, both of them are still the Wikimedia movement. Where the differences come in is Wikidata is more of a knowledge base, and see it like a database sort of, where you have information that is represented in a structured format. Now, this structured format here is one of the most distinguishing factor of Wikidata in comparison to Wikipedia. Also, because of the structured format, Wikidata now, you can link, it's linkable, like you can link different informations together. So you can see this chain of you can build like a chain of knowledge with Wikidata. So again, we'll be looking at films and movies today, but you can see how from Wikidata, you can link from one movie to an actor, to a producer, you can do this linking in Wikidata. Also, again, of course, like I said, it's open knowledge. Just to dive straight in, because I want to do less of the talky and actually move into the practical part. So I'm going to start with just hyping a movie and show you what it will look like on Wikidata versus what it will look like on Wikipedia. So I'm going to use the movie A Tribe Called, I think this was a movie that broke the internet space in Nigeria earlier this year, I think. So A Tribe Called Judah. So save in Wikidata, I'm searching for this movie. Now, this is the information I get from Wikidata. Again, you see how it represents its information. You see this, don't worry, I'll explain what it is. You see the name of so you see the name, you see this number, you see how it represents its information. It tells you that it's a theme, it's country. This is what I mean by structured. So the information here is structured. If I do the same search on Wikipedia, we'll get more like an article format representation. So in Wikipedia, informations are represented in an article format. So you have to read through, it's like a story, like basically an article. So if someone is looking for information here, say for instance, you're looking for the release dates here, you'll definitely have to either come through this info box here that is on the left. Again, this is powered by Wikidata, or you come and skim through this video, this what's it called, article here, to just see where the release date is. And this is one place where Wikidata shines over Wikipedia, is because you can easily just, if you're looking for a release date, if the information is added here, you should be able to see it here as well. Before I continue, is there any question in terms of the difference between Wikidata and Wikipedia? If there is none, then I can proceed. So now let's dive into Wikidata so that we'll understand what everything we're seeing here in terms of the terminologies in Wikidata, what it is and how you can edit the Wikidata itself. Wikidata, of course, have so many advantages. One of the things I forgot to mention is because of the structured formats, it is very, very accessible to the information. Makes a lot of sense to people who know. If you're a programmer here, you would definitely fall in love with Wikidata, because the way the information is represented is something you can just pick, write a programming code that would just, maybe say you want to build an application that returns all the movies, the details about the movie, so anybody that wants to search for movies that was produced by Stephen K. Akindele, for instance, if they just type on your application, which is different from the Wikipedia base, you can just put that in your application and it will fetch data from Wikidata. Wikidata has the ability to do that. So, I mean, if you're a programmer, you will definitely love Wikidata even more. Just wanted to mention that. There's also something we call the query service on Wikidata. Again, it's beyond the scope of today. I won't be able to cover it, but this is a very powerful platform, the Wikidata. And yeah, so basically I will be breaking things down here. In Wikidata, every every information you're seeing on Wikidata, every subject matter you're seeing on Wikidata is referred to as an item. Very important. So everything that is, every information, like in this case, I'm looking for a tribe of Judah. Wikidata will look for a tribe of Judah as an item for me. In Wikipedia, everything, every subject matter is referred to as article. So in this case, this is a tribe of Judah article. In this case, this is a tribe of Judah item. Now, the characteristics of an item on Wikidata. So I'm just going to close the Wikipedia. I'll just leave it open, but I'll focus on Wikidata, like basically this, because this is what we're talking about today. So what makes up an item in Wikidata? What makes an item? So there are two things that makes an item, or three things. So we have the item itself. So the item itself we now have is subdivided into the item label, which is the name of the item, and then this Q number, the QID number. So the QID number here is generated automatically by the machine. So it's not human generated, it's generated automatically by the machine. The use of this Q number is because some items might bear the same name. A typical example is if I search for Niger, for those of you that are Nigerians that are here, if I search for Niger like this, you're going to see different types of Niger coming up. So we have Niger as a sovereign state in West Africa, which is Niger, as we call it. The same spelling. We also have Niger State, which is a state in Nigeria. So you can see this is a two different different items that has shared the same name. So the QID you're seeing here, this Q number you see this. So let me go back here. So this Q number is the way for Wikidata to be able to differentiate between these items. So every item on Wikidata is unique. And the way it is unique, or the way you can tell the uniqueness of this item is because they have this unique ID number, and which starts with a Q. Hope that's clear. So that is the item. Again, every item has this column for description. You should be able to, that basically describes what the item is for all humans. So if I go back to my search on Niger, you can see this thing you're seeing here is the description that was added. And this, again, is added by humans. Again, you can write an application that would help you write it. So that way you can say it's not just written by human, it can be written also by a machine or a robot or a bot or a script. So basically, it's editable. So the only one that is not editable is this one. So every other thing you're seeing here is editable by you, the human. Again, back to what makes an item. It's statements. So every item should have a statement. Now, a statement could also be referred to as a claim. So remember I said Wikidata is structured, right? So every item you're seeing on Wikidata have to have this statement. So in every edit you're making on Wikidata, you're making a statement of this item is a this. This is my proof. This item is a this. This is my proof. And how does that statement correlate? How do you add the statements? So to add statements, to make claims on Wikidata to an item, you have to capture two distinct things, which is the property and then the value. So the property is everything you're seeing on the left-hand side here. So the instance of here, the country of origin here, the director, the cast member, everything you're seeing from this left-hand side is what we refer to as the property. Now, the property, see the property like a question, right? You're asking what instance of what? So basically you're saying this item is an instance of what item, what of what? Is it a mountain? Is it a human being? Is it a film? Is it a robot? Is it a fictional character? Is it a what is the instance of this item? Because of course, with Wikidata, we can record everything and anything. So every notable thing, by the way. Somebody's mic is on. I don't know who's that. Cessus, maybe can you help mute the person? Okay, so moving on. every item has a statement, and every statement is composed of a property and a value. So the property is like posing this question of what kind of item is this? Where is this item from? What country does this item belong to? What is the director? What is this? What is that? Then the value is the response to those questions, right? So the value becomes, if the property is asking, what instance of item is this? The value will be, is it film? Is it human being? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it a mountain? Is it the name of a place? Is it a picture? Is it what? Basically, just the value is responding to a property. And so every item, again, has a statement, a claim, and every claim is composed of the properties and the values. I know I have said a lot. I want to pause again and see if there is any question so far in what I've said. If there is none, we can proceed. So I usually like to proceed by actually starting to make edits. And one thing that you can do as a human being is you have the right to actually make edits on any of the wiki platforms. But first, if you don't already have your, an account on Wikipedia, then I would say create one. To create an account, just simply log. So for me, I'm logged in already. That's why you're seeing my username here, Udebi, at the very top. For you, if you're not logged in, you will be seeing the login somewhere here. Just log in, click on login. Again, to log in is very easy. It's arguably easier than logging in on Facebook or any of the social media platform, you know. It just requires a unique username, requires a password, and then an optional email address. Optional here means you can decide to put an email address, you can decide to ignore it. But I will encourage you to put the email address just in case you forget your password at some point. The only way you can recover it is when you include your email address when you're creating the account. So yes, please go ahead, put the email. This is for people who haven't created an account before. Again, if you have an account before that you're using on Wikipedia, it's the same account you use on Wikidata. Like I said, it's the same platform. So you use the same account on Wikidata, you use it on all the Wikimedia platforms. You can use that same account. So the same username, the same password. You don't need to create another account if you already have one. So that is the first thing. You need to log in first to be able to make these edits. The second thing is to start making the edits. So in our case, for the sake of this campaign, we're looking at improving the movies. Cecilus, I'm not sure, is it just African movies or movies in general?
African
Okay.
film related subjects only. It could be actors, it could be films, it could be film
Yeah.
festival, anything.
Okay,
But
cool.
African. Yeah.
Thank you. So now in this case, we can, any movie you know about that you're sure is notable. And so basically, when I'm saying notable, I mean movies that have that is notable in that sense. So not movie that maybe you and your sister or your brother in your house, you just create one short movie and then you come and put it on Wikidata, and you have to put it has to meet the notability criteria, which is a debatable subject in what is notable versus what is not notable. I'll try to avoid that topic on purpose and just move straight to this. So I'm going to be using this tribe of Judah to show us what we're going to be doing, and please just follow suit. So for a movie, so let me go back to the home page here. The first thing you want to do is, if you have the movie you want to add, right, on Wikidata, the first thing you want to do is you want to first search for the
Sorry,
movie. Now,
Benedict.
yeah,
Perhaps you can use something fresh.
no, I'm coming. I'll get there.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, if you want to search for, if you want to create a movie, or be it a movie or an actor or a film or a director, um, or anything you want to create, and this is not just for the film. Someone is, sorry, you're coughing. Anything you want to say something?
Oh
Okay,
no, it's been muted.
all right. So anything you want to create. Now, this is not just for movies alone. This is not just for actors alone. On Wikimedia, on Wikidata itself, anything you want to create, you want to add on Wikidata that is notable, the first thing you want to do is search. The reason why you're searching first is to be sure that that item has not been created already. So you don't want to have duplicate items, right? You want to create just one. And if it has been created already, all you just need to do is to improve upon it, is to improve the item. And so for this case, again, we're looking at themes. One thing I like to do in creating an item is first search, like I said. And you saw when I searched for Tribe of Judah, I'm going to use Tribe of Judah to expand on what I'm working on now. So I'm going to say a tribe called Judah again. So you see where I'm searching on the right-hand side, top right. So a tribe called Judah. Now, in some cases, if this is not if it's not on Wikidata, it will not show, it will just show you something like this. The second one here, it will not show you this top one. So what I usually encourage people to do is, even when it shows you like this, just still click on this search icon here, this one here. It's going to give you like a full search where you can search and see all related items that have this name, Tribe of Judah. And you can see that this search here is returning this. So we only have this, which is a Tribe of Judah, which is fine. If I open it, I want to check if this item, again, because initially I wanted to create this item, but now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that this item has already been created. Now, the next thing I want to do is to improve on this item. We can improve on this item by, so far we can see that there is cast members, there is director, there is country of origin, there is instance of. Now, some questions you might ask yourself is, how do you know what properties to add? How do you know what else to add? What is missing here and what to add? For me, one thing I easily do is I'll look for a very popular American movie that I'm sure somebody else has had added and take that as a template. For me, I'm going to use Game of Thrones as an example. And Game of Thrones here, because again, I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. So I'm just using Game of Thrones as an example here, which is again, and a movie that I'm sure someone has added, and there's a lot of properties here. So if you look at the properties here, so if I do like the search, like I said, so if I do Game of Thrones here, let me make the search here. So because I just typed GOT, you're seeing that it's telling me like the different things that has GOT here, but this is the one I'm looking for, right? So I'm just clicking on it, and you can see this one has 431 statements in comparison to Tribe of Judah here that had just 11 statements. So it means that there are other things that I can add on Tribe of Judah that is definitely not captured on that item. So what I would do is just open this one and open this one up. So I'm going to be using this Game of Thrones as a template to know what I'll be adding in the movies, in the films I will be adding. So the first thing, of course, here is I'm seeing that instance of here, in this case, instance of his television series. Tribe of Judah, instance of his film, it's fine. Of course, it's not a series, it's just a movie, I think. The next thing also is the logo image. Again, for this part, I'm not going to touch anything image because Ceslos will be showing you on how to work with commons from what's it called after this session. So basically everything commons, just note that all the images on Wikimedia lives on commons. So yeah, so everything commons is where you find, in commons is where you find all the images, all the audios, all the media files, you can find them in commons. So even the image you're seeing here, if I open it up, this Game of Thrones, it's picking this image here from commons because it exists on commons. So like I said, we will not be touching images, so I'm not bothered looking at images here. The next thing here is the title. Is there a title part here? No. So you can see title is not here. So another thing you want to get also in check is because remember I said every statement is a claim. So you're claiming that this item has this property. It's a claim you're making. And what is a claim without a resource, without a source to back it up? So basically you're just spreading rumors if you don't have a source. But a source is there to state that, okay, you're making this claim as per this source. So it makes more sense that whoever is reading that claim would have more trust depending on the source you're citing, if that makes sense. So in this case, I want to first go and look for a source. Now, for movies, one of the major sources I like using is IMDb. IMDb usually has these is a collection of movies database, basically. So almost all the movies that are notable are usually found on IMDb. So I will easily just go to IMDb and go and search for Tribe of Judah in there. Well, already I'm just, So I'm going to just go to IMDb. Already it's here. So I'm just going to, so this is IMDb. So if you come to their homepage, so this is what IMDb homepage. Again, this is because I'm looking for movies. And so one of the biggest database for movies globally is IMDb. So, I mean, what other source do you need? So basically, I'll just come here and search for a tribe of Judah, a tribe called Judah. So once I search for it, it opens up. So this is the movie. So every detail, every statement I'll be making, I'll be from here to basically add it. So the first thing I want to add is the title. I saw that there is no title here. So there is a title. You can hover over it to see the meaning of title. So in this case, now how do you add a statement? To add a statement, you just click on, you see the add here, add statement. I'm just going to click on it. Again, I'll cancel. I'll scroll up so that you see how I get to add statement. If your screen loads, if you're using your mobile phone, please scroll down. Once you get to wikidata.org, scroll down to the bottom of your screen. You would see in the bottom, you see something called desktop view. In my case, because I'm using desktop, what I'm seeing here is mobile view. If you see the bottom of my screen, you see I'm seeing mobile view here. I've highlighted it. I hope you can see it. For yours, if you're using your phone, you'll see desktop view. Click on desktop view. I prefer to see my screen the way I'm seeing it like this on desktop, even when I'm using mobile. So click on desktop view if you want to be seeing it this way. Then the next thing you want to do is just scroll down to add statements. See where you see add statements? Just click on add statements if you want to add a new statement. So I'll click on add statements. Now, what's property? Remember I said a statement is made up of property and value. So the next question is, what property do I want to add? Remember, the property I want to add is title. So I'll go back here and type title. So by the time you start typing it, you see the drop-down will come, will give you drop-down suggestions of what title are you looking for. Are you talking about title here as in published name of a work, such as a newspaper article, a literary work, piece of music, a website, or a performing work? There's also another title called native label. Native label here, the description is label for the items in their official language. So for this case, what I'm looking for is just this one, the title. Now, what is the title? The title here takes, I'm going to call it, what's the name of the movie? In this case, is A Tribe Called Judah. A Tribe Called Judah. Again, the language, of course, maybe you put title, you see this drop down language. You want to specify what language is this? Is it Igbo? Is it Hausa? Is it Yoruba? So I'm just going to put, for English, you just do EN. You see the pop-up we did there. So I just click on EN, English. There's also American English. There's Australian English. Again, I'm just picking the general English. Once you're done, the next thing you want to do is, instead of publishing, again, like I said, if I just click on publish now without putting a source, it means that I'm just, for now, people who will read this might easily just regard this as a rumor. They won't see it like a bold claim that I'm making. So it's advised to add a reference. to add a reference, you can see, so I just clicked on, so I'm going to remove, let me just copy this so that I'll start it afresh so you see what I'm doing. You add statements, click on add statement, click on the property you want to add, in this case is title. Then the name of the movie you want to add, the language in which you're adding it, English. Then to add reference, you see the add reference just below here, add reference, are you seeing it? Let me see if I can highlight it, or I can't highlight it. But this is the add reference, click on it. The minute you click on it, it's going to pop up like this. Now, if the movie, if your source, where you are getting the source is from a different website, that means it's not related to a Wikimedia project. So if the source you're getting it from, for instance, in my case, I want to get the source from this IMDb, right? That is where I want to get the source from. But say you're getting the source from Wikipedia, for instance. If I want to use this Wikipedia as a source, remember, I'm making the claim on Wikidata, but I want to use Wikipedia as a source. I'm just going to go back here and type in my edit, I'll put URL. So you see the different URL that will pop up. Because I want to use this as a source, this one here as a source, which is Wikipedia, which means it's wiki related. I'm going to use Wikimedia import URL. You see it here? So it's not just any URL, but Wikimedia import URL. I'll click on this. The next thing I need to do is just come here, copy the URL. That's the website, which is on Wikipedia, copy it, go back here and paste it. Again, once I'm done, I can also add a qualifier. I like to add this. I can add this to this particular reference. Click on add here. The other thing I want to add is the date I retrieved this, so that in case if it changes the next day, if somebody is looking at my claim, the person can go back to that date I said I received it on that website and see the date. So I could say retrieve the date. So you see retrieved here, it tells you that date or point in time that information was retrieved from a database or website. So I'll click on this. Again, the retrieve date. What date did I retrieve this? I retrieved this. What's today's date? Today's date is 18th. So the date, you can take whatever format. You can do 18th like this. May is 05, 2024. It automatically arrange it for me like this. Once I'm done with this, I just click on publish. So if you look at this, if you search for Tribe of Judah from your end now, you would see a new item, a new property has been added, which is title. Now, for a movie, it's not just only this that should be added. You also want to add, for films, you want to add characters. What characters were in that movie? For instance, I don't know how many of you have seen Tribe of Judah. In Tribe of Judah, there are different characters. By characters, I mean fictional character that they played, the role that the actors played in the movie. If you look at this, we have the cast members. Of course, you have Funke Akindele there, you have Timini there. Timini played a role in that movie. What role is that? So those are what we mean by characters. So you can add characters to a movie. But before you add character to a movie, this is where the linking might come into play. You have to be sure that that character you want to add already exists in Wikidata, right? If it doesn't exist in Wikidata, you can't add it. Say, for instance, for this movie now, I want to add, again, let me go back to this to check the characters that exist in the Tribe of Judah. I don't know how many of you have seen it. How many of us, okay, quick question. How many of us have seen this movie, A Tribe of Judah, A Tribe Called Judah? Just show of hand if you've seen it. Okay, just 2 persons have seen it. Oh, 3 persons, cool. So we'll be doing this together. So you'll be telling me the characters in the movie and then we'll add it, right? So some characters in this movie. So if I go back here, we'll see that if I go back to this, our edits, right? I want to add, look at it, you see that there is no characters here. We only have the cast members, right? But we don't have any character. There's no, what is the name of Funke in the movie? What is the name of Timine in the movie? We don't have those characters, those roles that they play. So if you check again our template item here, you see that there is the genre, there is the country of origin, there is I'm looking for the character just to add it. Of course, there's cast members, blah, blah, blah. Man, Game of Thrones has plenty cast members. Some movies, of course, have plenty cast members. Oh my goodness, this is too long. Yes, so you have characters here. So this is characters that they play. So in Game of Thrones, we have this. We don't have it in Tribe of Judah. We only have the cast members and FK, of course. We don't even have the genre of the movie. Let me see if I can pick genre. If there's a genre here. Oh, there's genre here, comedy. So, which is the genre of this movie, Tribe of Judah. So we can add genre here. I'll just click add statements, genre. So genre here simply means the creative works genre or an artist field of work, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is what I'm looking for. So in genre, there are different genres. There's of course, we know there's drama, there's action, there's comedy, there are different genres. So for this case, it's comedy. So comedy film is a genre. So click on this. Again, I'm making this statement, so I need a source. So I'll click on add. Now, because this source now, I'm getting it from outside Wikimedia. Remember the first source, I used the Wikipedia, right? This source, I want to use IMDb, and I'll show you how to get this source, to use this source. To add this as a reference, again, I'll just type URL. Once you type URL, you see this drop down that comes up. Again, if the source is not within the Wikimedia space, so I'm going outside the Wikimedia space. In this case, I want to go to IMDb, which is not owned by Wikimedia. It has nothing to do with Wikimedia. I'm going to use reference URL. Again, why? Because it is not in Wikimedia space. So I'll use reference URL. Click on reference URL. Then again, I'll come here, copy the link. So I'll copy this. I'll go back and paste it here. Now that I've pasted it, again, I want to put the date I got this, which is a very good practice. Not like you can post it without the date. So I'll just put retrieve date. Again, today's date is 18/05. Again, like I said, you can use different formats. You can use it like this, 2024. And then I publish. So now we have a genre, which is film. The other thing I want to add is character. But to check the characters in the movie, I go to IMDb. I can check the cast and crew. Of course, there are top casts here. We see that Jide Kene played Emeka Judah in the movie. Boma played JD in the movie. You can see how the characters are, right? Uzo Arukwe played Chigozie in the movie. So these are the different characters in the movie Tribe of Judah. So I can create these characters first. So if I go back, again, if I want to see the full list of characters, I just click on, in IMDb, there's this cast and crew here, click on it. It will show me like the full cast of that movie. So the writers of the movie, the cast of the movie. So we can see the Jide that plays Funke Akindele. This is her name in the movie. Those of you who have seen the movie, is this correct? Is this Funke's name in the movie?
Yes, Jedida.
Yeah, cool. So you can see the names of the characters in the movie. Now, I want to add this character. So if I click on this, I put what I want to add is character. So characters. You see the definition of characters. Characters which appear in this item, like plays, operas, blah, 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 films, and all that. So characters. So number one character I want to add is, let's add Funke's character. What is her name in this movie? Let me see. GD, what? So I'm just copying this. I want to add this here. So I'm going to paste it here. Now notice something. The minute I pasted this, it tells me that no match was found. telling me that no match was found means that Wikidata does not know about this item yet. So it means that for me to proceed, I have to pause here, go and create the character, and then come back here and link them. So this is where you go to. So I'll leave this tab open. I'll open another tab, Wikidata tab here. I'll come and search for that character. Again, remember, always search for it. I'll search fully to be sure. Now that I've searched, my English is somehow. Now that I've searched for this character, you can see that the result I'm getting is that there is no result matching the query. You may create a new item for this item. What you want to do is, yes, you want to create the item. So I'll click on create new item. Remember, up until now, I've not showed you how to create an item. So see this process as the same way you will follow through if you're creating anything that does not exist on Wikimedia already. So in this case, the first thing, once you click on create a new item, the first thing it wants to get is what language you want to create this item in. Remember I said Wikidata is multilingual. So the language, if it's in Igbo, you put Igbo here, you just type IG to tell this is for Igbo, but you can type it in full. So if I type Igbo like this, so Igbo, it should give me, hold on. So say Igbo is what I'm interested in. You see IG Igbo here, see it on here, click on it, it's IG. Again, for the sake of this class, I'm just going to use English. So maintain English. Where is the English? So English. Again, the name, the label is Jadida here. Jadida is the character I want to add. Again, this can be a name of a human being. It can be a name of an animal. Depending on what you want to add on Wikidata. This is where you put the name here, the label. The description, what is the description of this item? So what will somebody else that is looking for an item similar to this, what will help them know that this is the one you're talking about? You can put the description here. So usually a description is usually supposed to be short, and so short sentence that describes the item. So nobody's saying you should come and be narrating the entire story of Jadida of the movie. Just a short description that would make it easy for anyone to just easily note that, okay, this is talking about this movie, this character in this movie. So again, I need suggestions from you. What do you think the description here should be? Just a one-line sentence description for this character. Suggestion, you can use the charts so that I'm sure people are following me.
Film character.
Film character. Okay. Any other idea? A character in a tribe of Judah. I like this. Any other one? Should I be calling names so that I'm sure that people are following and people that are sleeping? Okay, so I'm going to use, I think I like a character in a tribe of Judah. So you can say a character in, so let's make it specific in the film. In the film, we can do tribe of Judah like this. Ngozi, we can't use an actress in a tribe of Judah because, again, remember that the Jadida Judah is not a human being, is a character. So we are adding character. If it's the actress itself, we'll say it's the actress. But what we are adding is the character. So we're adding Jide. It's not a real human being, of course. It's there could be a real human being that exists with that name, but for this particular case, what we are adding, we are adding it as a character in the movie. Again, here we can, in this part, so we're just going to stick with this. In this other part, the alias part is where we add the also known as. So in case if somebody else is searching for that particular item, so for instance, Searchless has different names we know him as. Some people refer to Ceslos as Ceslos. Some refer to him as Onyememe. Some refer to him as Udogu. Some refer to him as, you understand? So the different names, this is where you put those names here, so that if somebody searches for Onyememe Ceslos, they should be able to see Ceslos too, as well as options. So again, for those that have watched the movie, that have seen the movie Tribe of Judah, does the character Jedida has any name that they are calling her in the movie? Not in real life, in the movie. Did they call that character any other name? I will give another example. In what's it called? In Game of Thrones, for those that have seen Game of Thrones, you have the Lannister, the Jaime Lannister. Jaime Lannister also has different names. They used to call him Kingslayer. They used to call him Jaime Lannister, of course. They used to call him, like, he has different names. So like in that place, you can also put Kingslayer as the name. Someone can also search for Kingslayer. Oh, Mama Emeka. Oh, cool. So if they also refer to her as Mama Emeka in the movie, is there another name they refer to her as there? Okay, so this is, if there is others, you can also add them here. So, but for this case, again, if you don't know yet, it's also fine to leave it empty. Also, the description, if you don't know how best to describe it, it's also fine to leave it empty. You can always add it afterwards. But the encouragement is always try to add it now, because sometimes you might forget to add the description. So move on to create, click on create. Once we click on create, the next step is, now if you look at this character, this thing, you see that in with the description, the label we have is here, the description is here, the also known as is here. If we have more also known as, we can always edit it. But now, so far, there is no claim, there is no statement. So we need to start adding statements. And one of the statements we want to add, the very first statement every Wikidata item should have is called the instance of. So the instance of is the first statement we should have. So the instance of, in this case, which is, what kind of item is this? Remember, I told you that items can be, so Wikidata does not just only record movies. It can record the name of a state. It can record the name of a country, even a street. You can record the name of a street. You can record hospitals. You can take schools. Wikidata takes every data you know, every kind of data you know, Wikidata accepts them. So basically, in that scenario, in this scenario now, is asking you, what kind of data is this? What kind of item are we talking about here? In this case, we are talking about a fictional human being. Again, I'm using the word fictional. How do you spell? Yeah. So I'm using the word fictional because it's not real. So it's fictional human. Fictional. So we can use fictional character, which is a fictional human or non-human character in a narrative work of art. You can use this. You can use fictional human. If you are sure the character is a human being, you can use fictional character if the character is a dog. Maybe there is a dog in Tribe of Judah that is called a very popular character in the movie, not just any dog that was just passing by, that maybe they built the movie significantly because that dog played a role, either as a supporting something, or those of you who know movie knows this. You can put fictional character there and the name of that dog if it has any significance in the movie. So for this case, it's a human being, but it's a fictional human being because it doesn't exist. Of course, you want to add a source, like I said. So add a source. The source you want to add is, again, type URL. If you are getting the source from the IMDb, remember you're using reference URL. So for this case, we are getting the source from here. So I'm going to just copy this, go back here and paste it. And then I publish. So now we have added one instance of. Again, remember, for this case, you might be wondering, what else can characters have? If you don't know, remember our template you're using, Game of Thrones. Go back to Game of Thrones. There are characters in Game of Thrones. Just open anyone there and see what they added for them. So in this case, you see there is fictional human, then there is the sex or gender of that character. Then there is the country of citizenship. Again, this is for countries, for movies that have a country. So some movies might not be based on a country. The storyline might be based on something like a universal thing. So it's not country. Some might have a fictional country, all those things. So in this case, again, you just add, remember we're adding Jadida. So far what is missing is the sex or gender. So in the movie, what is the sex of, did Funke play a role of a woman or a man or a trans or any of the LGBTQ plus? So in this case, I'm going to use sex or gender. Again, was Funke a man or a woman in the movie? So was Jadida, Judah, was it a role of a man or a woman in the movie? Female. Okay, so I'm going to just use female here. Again, if I look at this, I need a, let me see if this has a source to show me that they played, it was a woman. It did not specify in IMDb. Let me see if there's a place that it specified it here. A tribe called Judah, blah, 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 character. There was nowhere, but ordinarily you want to search. So I'm going to be doing something not so good. I will not be adding source for this, but usually you want to, for every claim, you want to put a source. Again, so yes, I know it's common knowledge to you because you've seen the movie, but for people like me that probably haven't seen the movie, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. So me just seeing it's playing, the role is a female character, I still need a source to make it feel authentic. So in this case, I will not put a source. I'll just leave it and put female, which is still fine. Again, another thing I want to add is, because I don't know what else to add, and go back to my and check. So characters should have this. Again, was the movie based on a country? Did they base it that is a Nigerian thing, like the country they were in Nigeria, or were they in a different country? And also, did they mention anywhere in the movie that she's a Nigerian or she's a, if that wasn't mentioned, you can leave it blank. Again, another thing to note is, let me see, the movie, did the character belong to any role? Did it belong? So all these things are things you'll be adding on the movie. So for a character, if it belongs to a role, if the character died, did Funke, did not Funke now, did Jedida in the movie, did that character die? If the character died, did they mention the cause of death? Did they mention in the movie? Did they mention what killed the character? Did they mention the dates the character died? All those things you can add it here. Did they even mention when they gave birth to the character? You can add it here as well to improve this. Another thing you can add here, let me see. Another thing you can add for characters is, let me see, from native universe, performer. Yes, you can add performer. So performer here means who played that role. So this is a very important one to add. So performer. So performer here, you want to add role, play the role. Actually, I think that role was by Funke. Yes. So the role was played by Funke Akindele. So I'll just copy this. I'll paste it. You'll see the link in now. Now, if I paste this name, the name must also exist on Wikidata. If it doesn't exist on Wikidata, then Wikidata will tell me to go and create it. So I'll check first. I'll paste the name here. Funke Akindele. Oh, we are lucky. The name exists. So somebody has added Funke Akindele to Wikidata. So we are seeing it here. It already exists. So I'll click on it. And then I need to put a reference. Again, I'll use URL. Again, my source obviously is from this place. This is where my source is. So I'll just copy this link, go back to this, and I'll paste this. I'll add the date I retrieved it. The date I retrieved it is today, which is 18/05/2024. And I publish. So now you see that the performer is this. What else can I add here? Let me see. Let me go back and check. I can add who created the character. So usually in terms of movies like this, the creator of the characters are usually the writers of the movie. So, but if there are multiple writers, you need to know who wrote the character. So if it's a character that was based from a book, then maybe the person who wrote the book is the person who created the character. But if you know that, but if you don't know, again, don't add what you don't know. So anyone that you know and you have source to back it up, add it. So, but for this, again, I don't know. You can help add it later. Member of what else? Social sibling. Did they have a sibling? Did they have a child, a family member? I see that some people said the other name they call the character is Mama Emeka. Was there an Emeka in the movie, like in the character that they showed? If there was an Emeka in the movie that they showed, that means you have to go and create that one first and come back to create this. Then place of birth, I've mentioned this. Noble title. Did they give did the character have any title? If the character had, we put it there as well. So these are all the things you basically be adding, but because of no time, I won't be adding all of this. I will leave it for you to add. So go back to this. So by the time I'm done with this, so far we have this, right, that exists. Remember we paused somewhere before we came to create this character. So I'll go back to where we paused, which was a tribe called Judah. We're creating characters. Remember when we created this? When we type this, it showed us that it does not exist. How about if we check now? If you type it again now, you see that the character now exists and is what? A character in the film Tribe of Judah, which was what we created just now. So you see that it's linked. Are you seeing the linkage now that we spoke about? So now you're seeing that you're linking the movie itself called Tribe of Judah with the character you created. So if I finish this, I'm going to add reference URL. Again, I'm adding reference URL. I'm adding this Tribe of Judah here. This is the cast and the character. So I'm adding it from here. I'm going to paste here. Again, good practice is to always add the retrieve date. Retrieve date, today's date is 18/05/2024. And then I publish. So you see that I've added also the character, Tribe of Judah. If I want to add other characters, remember it's not just one character that we had other characters in the movie. Again, just click on, if you want to have a property that has different values, so properties can have more than one value. All you need to do is just do the same thing, add statement, type the same thing. In this case, for instance, character. In this case, character, I'm missing a spelling. Character. So in this case, you type characters and then click on the characters. You can add the second one. You can add the second person. So the second character, again, there is no time. I would have gone to start creating it again. But you can go ahead to create the second character, which is, there is Deji in the character. So Deji. So if I check in this one now, if Deji exists, if I put Deji here, you see that there is different Deji. But is there a Deji that is not a name of a human being that is human, but a fictional character for that movie? If you look at this, there's Deji, there is Nigerian male given name, but this is not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is the Deji that, sorry, I can see Monica is saying that she can hear me. Cecilus, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Monica, you might have to disconnect and reconnect. Maybe it's a network problem.
Okay. All right. So for this, again, for characters here, you see that Deji here is a Nigerian name, but it is not the name of the character. What we are adding is the name of the character in this case. So because if I look at all the options here, I can even check more because there are more. All the Deji here, none of them is what I'm looking for. If I pick this, right? If I pick that Deji, so if I do Deji like this and I pick, where's that Deji that came up? If I pick this Nigerian given name, right, and publish it, is the wrong information because the Deji here is a Nigerian given name. The Deji in the character is a fictional human being that played a different role. So you want to make sure that you don't link those two. You're careful with those ones as well. So the same thing I did, remember for this Judah, The same thing I did for that is what you're going to do. You're going to go and search differently if Deji as a character exists. So Deji, make a search. So do a full search. We're seeing that Deji as a character does not exist in the movie. It's not here. So you have to go and create it. How do you create it? To create it, in this case that you search, and there are other options, but it's not what you're looking for. At the left-hand side of your screen, you see create a new item. You see this part here? Create a new item. I've highlighted it. Just click on it. Once you click on it, you can continue to create a new item. So in that case, you can just put Deji. You can put the description now, which is, what was the description we put for Jadida? Sorry, let me open this and check the description. I just want to use the same description, which is a character in Tribe of Judah. So go back to this, put this character, paste this here. Again, is there, those of you that watched the movie, that saw the movie, was there any, what was Deji's, did they call Deji another different name in the movie, or was it Deji all through? Anybody? Nobody?
Yeah, he was only Deji.
It was only Deji. Okay, in that case, that's fine. So click on create. Once you click on create, again, remember what we did for Jadida? You do the same thing. Instance of, we say instance of in this case is what? Fictional human. So go back to this and put fictional human. Deji was a human being in the movie, right? Not a dog. I want to be sure.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a fictional human. Again, I want to add my reference URL. So I'll just use URL. Use reference URL. Again, the cast, I got it from this movie. Go back to this. Deji here. Add this. Published. Again, what was the character of Deji? The gender of Deji. I'm going to just assume is a male. Is that correct? So I assume male. So I'll just click on publish. Again, this assumption is a bad thing. Just make sure you have a source. But I'm doing this because of time. And then, of course, you want to add performer who performed this movie, who performed this role, rather, performer. In this case, the performer is, what's the name of the actor? Let me see, Deji. Is Boma that performed. So Boma something, Akbore or something. So I'm just going to paste this. So as you're pasting this, the name, somebody has already added this person on Wikidata, so which is fine. Again, if the name does not exist on Wikidata, you go and create it first. So you pause here, go and create it, and then come back. So this person already exists. So I'm going to add URL again. You notice the first time I added the URL, I didn't add retrieve date. It's because you can, but it's advised to add retrieve date. So again, come back here, copy this link, go back here, paste it. Of course, add the retrieve date. Retrieve today's date is 18/05/2024. And then publish. Now, if I go back to the tribe of Judah, if I go back here, I can now put Deji. So if I put Deji here, Deji, you see among the options that will pop up, I will see the fictional character. So you see plenty options. Click on more to see more options. Let me see. Again, I'm not seeing this. Let me be sure I saved it properly as Deji. Aha. Let me just copy this. So let me just reload this page so that I'm sure it has taken into count this thing. So again, I'm adding character. What is missing in my spelling? Characters. Aha. Then I'm putting Deji. So we have different Deji come up. Again, sometimes if you see that what you're looking for, the name you're looking for did not show here, let me be sure before I finish my statement. If you see that the name did not pop up here and you're sure you've added it, what you just do is go and copy this this URL, this ID number, Q number here, starting with Q, copy it, go back here, remove this one here, and just paste it. It will just carry it and come by force. So you see it, this stage, paste it. Again, add the reference URL. So URL, reference URL. What is the movie? The reference URL here. I'm using this. So I'll go back to this and add it. Again, you want to add the retrieve date. So 18th, 05, 2024, and then publish. So this, now you see that the characters have joined together. So we have two characters now, Jedida and Deji. If you have more characters you want to add, of course, there are so many characters in that movie. So this is the list of all the characters in the movie. So remember, to add all of them, you can just keep repeating the same thing. If they don't exist already on Wikidata, go and create it and then add it. But always make sure you've searched to be sure somebody else have not added it. So these are the things you can do. This is how you can edit Wikidata. I'm afraid I'm going to be pausing now. I don't know if there's any questions so far on what I've said or what I've shown you today. Any questions? Maybe let me stop sharing my screen so I can see you well. Any questions so far? No question? Does it mean everybody understands it? All right, please go ahead.
My son, like now, you know, when you go to Prime TV, you watch a child called Judah on Netflix, I don't know. Can I reference them, like reference either Netflix or Prime or wherever I can find the movie?
Yes, you can reference. So now you're talking about the sources you can use. You can reference them, but again, because it's movie related, I would ideally just encourage you to first look at IMDb. IMDb is like the godfathers of directory for movies. So just come to, let me share this URL for you so that you can easily find IMDb. Just imdb.org. I'm just copy this and share with you on the chat. So this is IMDb. So from this IMDb, you can search almost every movie. Any movie that does not exist in IMDb, usually I just assume that movie is not notable. But again, remember, you're not just creating, there's a lot of things to add, especially things like characters, especially things like the producers. So a producer of the movie might just, again, remember, if you're adding a producer of a movie, that means you're adding a human being. You don't need to create that person every time. Because, for instance, Funke Akindele has been added on Wikidata. I don't need to go and create, if Funke Akindele produce another different movie, say, for instance, the Jennifer Diary, I don't need to go and create Funke Akindele again because he already exists on Wikidata. I'll just put it as, I'll just include as part of our works that she also did Jennifer's Diary and add it as well. Judith, I want to be sure you understood what I said before we move on to the next person. Judith, did you get me? Okay.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Moses?
Yes, thank you so much, facilitator. What I have to say that I came in late, so I missed the first part of the session. So I don't know if the recording is going to be shared in the groups and we see how we can learn that. I can get that first bit of the introduction part of, yes, the session. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've picked a lot from the session.
You're welcome. I'm sure the session is being recorded and I'm sure sessions will be sharing it to everyone. Yep. Any other question? Again, for the sake of the campaign, the contest that will be happening, you will be adding, is my understanding that you'll be adding themes or theme-related items. So theme-related items means you're adding themes, you're adding awards, movie-related awards, you're adding movie fictional characters, like I explained now, like you've seen me do. You're adding producers, you're adding directors, you're adding writers, you're adding the movie itself, there's a lot of things you can add for this content. So you can't even run out of, I'm sure by the time you're done, you see that there's still some what's it called? Some other items someone can improve. Again, the important thing in the contest you should note is that as you're doing this, ensure you search first to be sure it does not exist before you create it. If it exists, don't bother creating a new one. Just improve on that one. Look for what is missing and you have the source to it and add it. If you see, it can be just source, reference. Maybe somebody made a statement and there is no reference. You can add the reference if you have a reference that claim can capture. I hope that makes sense. Yes, and this is African-wide. Isn't it? I'm looking at your question now. The contest, Cheslos did mention that it's going to be an African movie related or scene related items. Yes, Moses, your hand is raised up again. You have a question?
Yes, you say that most of the movies, films are always on IMDb, but
Yes.
unfortunately, as for me, I want mostly to add on our Ugandan content, our Ugandan films, because most of our films are not yet on. I don't think most of them are on what? On IMDb. So I don't know how that we are going to be doing it. Is there any way, like, I need guidance on that, please?
Okay, so in your case, again, I will encourage you to first check IMDb. If it's not there, of course, you want to check for other movie sites that is notable. So other movie sites here means, I mean, in the movie world, what are the movie, if you're looking for a movie, what's it called, that you can find details about the movie, where would you go to? So you search for it. For you in Uganda, I don't know. I'm not in Uganda, so I don't know what sites, but I think the global one is usually the IMDb. But there are others. Like Judith's question, you can check from even Prime. You can check from Netflix, their websites, if you have the what's it called. So IMDb that I suggested is one in case you're stuck somewhere. I mean, it should be the first place you search because they usually have like a very good detail that you can use. But if you can get the same details from, say, Netflix, from Prime, from HBO, any of the other platform, that's still fine. You can just use it as your source. Remember, it's good practice to whatever claim or statement you're adding to always add a reference URL or a source. If it's from Wikipedia, remember to use the Wikipedia import URL. If it's from outside Wikimedia, remember to use the reference URL. That's just the important thing to note.
All right.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. Any other question? Somebody saying, what about Hollywood movies that are filmed in Africa with African history? Ceslas, do you want to answer that? As regards to the contest, I guess.
Yes, thank you very much. But we had to debate this on English Wikipedia precisely. Those are not African films. They have nothing to do with African films. In fact, I spent 1 month debating with the Wiki Project film community to create a category for such films. So now there's a category called, films about Africa, that are not shot in Africa.
Okay.
Like, let's say, Tears of the Sun. I think that was by Bruce Willis. It's not an African film by any means. The fact that they, had a plot of Calabar and I think Cameroon, it doesn't make it an African film by any means. So take note, those are not African films. It's like saying Wakanda is an African film. It's a Hollywood masterpiece with plots around Africa per se. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, if there is, I have to run now, unfortunately, But if there is any other question, Mark is also here. Mark is very knowledgeable on Wikidata. He can also respond to any question you have regarding Wikidata. Yeah, feel free to reach out to Mark, who is here on the call. He will be around even after the session to help you answer any of your questions. But I hope with this few knowledge that I've shared, you're able to be the winners. I mean, I'm hoping the winner of the contest will arise from this. You see how easy it is to actually create the items. You can do this. So go, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. I have to run now. Ceslas, over to you.
Thank you very much, Benedict. And yes, to just highlight further on that, Martin. Yes, I don't know if those of us who are Marvin fans, oh, sorry, Marvel. There was one of the Marvel movies that, was even shot in Lagos, Nigeria. It doesn't make it an African film. They just came, took some shots, had people speaking our Yoruba and all that. It doesn't make it's pure Hollywood. It's an American film. So, I didn't know that. Yes, X-Men too. I didn't know that until we got working on this campaign. In fact, we spent the last quarter of last year navigating the community Wikipedia bureaucracy around these things, moving our stuff that are African to the right categories, even film festivals. Somebody will host a film festival somewhere in New York and call it African Film Festival. I told them that doesn't add up. You can say film festivals about African films. That's understandable. And then we have African Film Festivals category, strictly for, film festivals that happened here. So, Mark, perhaps you can take more questions. I particularly have one, okay, around adding an image, maybe a film poster or, a character image, or a cast image, and then a soundtrack to the entry, be it a film entry like we just learned. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Just as Benedict said, every statement is made up of a property and a value. So to add anything is just to, okay, let me share my screen. I see. Let me know if my screen is up.
Yes, we can see. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, just as Benedict said, this is the item we are working on, a tribe called Judah. So for instance, any statement we want to add, just scroll to the bottom. You have this add statement, just click on it. Normally, it often comes with suggestions of properties to be added, like the publication date of this movie, the original language of film, and other things. Now, we want to add image. You just search for image. This is what we are looking for. You select this. As Benedict said earlier, if you want to add any image or any media file to any of the wiki projects, the file must exist on Wikimedia Commons. So let me go and check if there's an image of this. So Ceslas will be taking us on Wikimedia Commons and the licenses around it. So he will give us the official link, but let me just go there. So, Wikimedia Commons. So the Wikimedia Commons, as Ben said earlier, is a repo. as a database of images, pictures, sounds. You can see images here, sounds here, and videos, and you can also upload. So that's not what we are here for. Normally, here is the search button at the top right. Search for the image you are looking for. Now I'm looking for an image, maybe with this name. Let's see if there's any image with this name or relating to this movie. Wow. So as you can see, this doesn't have image on Wikimedia Commons. That means no one uploaded image on Wikimedia Commons. And then first class will take us more on rules guiding uploading of audios, video, and images. Now, it is under images, right? Now, look at the audio. If you are looking for any audio file, maybe for this movie, let's search. As you can see, we didn't find any result. Same as the video, there is no result. Other medias. So, for instance, you're looking for, this one's, look at this is PDF format of the tribe of Judah, not even what we are looking for. So we don't have any image or audio file around this subject matter. But I will just show us, for instance, let's say someone upload the image, or maybe after Celsius session on how to upload images to Commons, and then the image is here. So I'm just using, for instance, let's assume this first image is the image for the movie. You just click on it. Once you click on it, this is the metadata about the picture. I'm just using this picture as example, not the picture to be added. This is it. Good. I've opened the whole thing. So when you open it this way, you can download it. You can use this file, right? And then you have two options. One is use this file, use this file. But the other one is wiki related, which is this second one, right? Use this file on a wiki. And we are using that one because we are using it on Wikidata. So just click on it. We have the thumbnail and the image. Now, we copy the image. You'll see their differences. Just copy it, go back to your Wikidata, where you added the property image. Here, you just paste and see what will happen. Now, the image will come this way. Once it comes, you just click on it. When you click on it and you publish, okay, I will publish, but I will remove this because this is not the image for this, just for you to see. Good. Had it been, this image was for this movie, this is how it will display, right? So, but it's not for this, so I just use it for instance. So that's just how you add image on any item. So since I just use it for example, I have to remove this. Okay. So that's just that. And then remember, I'm coming. Okay, let's refresh the page to ensure that it's not there. Awesome. Now look at the characters that Benedict just added. I remember on Game of Thrones, let me see to be sure, because we are using Game of Thrones as our instance. Okay. So someone was asking the differences between character and cast member. Casts are people as the real characters. Then are the real, what do they call them? Actors, right? That perform in the movie. Then characters are the role they played in the movie. So that's the differences between character and role. So this is a Game of Thrones, that of Game of Thrones. As you can see, so many properties. Look at the cast. This is their real name. And then if you observe, we have Saint Bean, this person, but they have other things like character role under it. And in our statement here, in our item here, we just have cast, Funke Akindele Bello. Just like this one, there is no character role. That's the role she played, right? So you can also add that. If you want to add this, that's the qualifier. This one has been published already. You just click on the edit button here. I know we work on that of Funke Akindele. And what was the role she played? This is it, right? Jedida Judah. You just copy it and you can add qualifier here. Now look at suggestion. Character role, right? Specific role played or filed by subject. So this is what we are using. And then I just paste this. Because we have created this character already, it's easy to add it here. Had it been, it's not on Wikidata, we can add it here. Does that. And then I remembered someone was asking about referencing, right? You can have more than one reference. For instance, here we have, initially it was just from English Wikipedia, but I've added this, which is on this, because it's from this website that we got this. Okay, A Tribe Called Judah. This is the production date, and then this is the time, that's the duration. I think we can also add that. Okay, we added the genre, right? So let's check the cast and crew. Good. Funke Akindele, Jedida Judah, right? So I got this from here. This is the cast, this is the character, right? So I will just copy the link. That's my reference link, and then come back to this and add reference again. So remember, we are using reference URL because it is not from any wiki related website. So that's why I'm picking this instead of imported from Wikimedia project, right? URL. So I will select that and paste the link here. And then I will remember to add the day I retrieved this. I click on it, and then this is it, retrieved. Once you just type retrieve, you get this. My network is strong, that's why I don't need to type. It often come up, right? So date or point in time that information was retrieved. I retrieve it today. I just select this. Yeah, you can, you will notice that my date automatically fill up. That was a gadget I enabled. So that one is a different case. Maybe you'll find time and talk about that. So this is what I want to add, and then I'll just publish. Yep. Awesome. Now you can see under Funke Akindele, you have character role. This is the role she played, and then we have two references, unlike the other cast members, right? Timmy doesn't have character role. And then, so that's just what you would do. And then other statements to be added, once you just click on add, I think. Now, the publication date. Date or point in time when a work was first published or released. You select this, go back to the site, see. Okay. Just went through this. So the publication date here is the publication date. Okay, it wasn't okay. A Tribe Called Judah 2023. It was a 2023 movie. So just come back here and add the year. And then remember, I got this information from this site. Let's copy the link, add your reference. Reference. We are using reference URL. Just paste this. Add to add the date I retrieved this information, right, which is today, and then I publish. That's how you keep on adding the statement. Now look at another property. We have language of film or TV. Which language was this movie produced in, right? We also have things like the screenwriter. That's the person who wrote the script for subject item. Then we have composer, right? Persons who wrote the music, right? I think all these things are here also. Coming. Okay, we have the director. Look at the writing credit. Funke Akindele, and then other people too. Funke Akindele, Collins Oko, and Akinlabi Ishola. So I don't know if there's any, let me just stop here and ask if there's a question for me. Hello, Ceslas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Does anybody have a question for Mark? No question means everything is well understood. Is that the case? I don't know if you know, but silence begets consent. So that's to say everything everything was well understood. Okay. Teofilo says, I think we understand. You think or you know for sure?
Hello.
Yes.
Please, I don't understand the identifier subject. Can you please explain?
Okay. The identifier, just like this one we added under Funke Akindele. So you're talking of this?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Basically, these are just numbers. You can, anything you don't understand, let's just open this together. IMDb ID. Let's just open in a new tab. You'll see where this number is coming from. So how we got this identifier, look at it there. So it's the same number here when you open the item. Look at the number here, this number. TT2976915. So this is the number that identifies this movie on IMDb database. I don't know if you got the message.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw where you picked it from. Although it's not clear, but from that identifier letter, under identifier, there is letter something. letterboxed film and TMDB. These ones are not clear to me. So I don't know how you.
Okay, this just like IMDb is a database. These ones too are database where you can get information where the person that created this item got some information or where these movies are. Let's just give this a trial. This letterbox D film ID. Let's go there, you see what happened. So every movie on every database have its own identifier, just as the name, identifier. This identifies this movie. Now, for instance, on the same IMDb ID, IMDb website, if you search for another movie, it will be a different number. So they use these numbers to differentiate the different movies on their website. This is the format they use to differentiate the different movies. So this is it. Now look at, for this website here, look at a tribe called Judah. That's what they use. That's what is used here. So these are just like the databases, like the repository where these movies are, where this movie is on the different database. I don't know if this is clear. So you can also get more information here. Look at the crew, the cast, the crew, look at the producer, the writer, right? Can get more detail. Country, language is English, right? So we can, okay, then let us add this. I think country is there. Let us add the language. And let me see, it's a country, this item. Okay, country of origin is Nigeria. So let's add the language statement. Original language of film or TV is English, right? Select this, and then my reference, I got this from here. Just copy this, come back here, add reference. Remember, it's not from any wiki related, so it's just URL. You're using this reference URL, and then you paste. There you got this. Remember to add under the reference the day you retrieve this, right? So retrieve, and then it autofills, just publish. Okay, that's just that. Any other? So these are just repositories where you can find metadata or information about this movie. I hope that's clear.
Thank you very much, Mark, for explaining things. Does anybody have any other questions? So, Ngozi, in essence, these are external databases, right? We even use them on Wikipedia. So when you want to, document or make reference to anything, any item you're adding about the movie on Wikidata, you have to use the identifiers as those external databases have used them. This is just the simplest explanation I can think of. Does anybody have any other question? I just shared the
Yes, please.
okay, what's the question?
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My question is, I saw when he was adding the character uh, and roles. I don't know if it was the role they played or the original names of the characters. So my question is, if I want to add their original names, their real names, and then the role they played in the film. For instance, if the person played the role of a mother or a friend to so character in the movie, like, is there a qualifier one can use to add such? Maybe the father or was a daughter to this one. Like, is there a qualifier one can use or a proxy one can use to add such?
Mark?
Thank you for the wonderful question. You don't need a qualifier. So from the role the person played, remember when we were seeing the item, that's the character item, right? You put all those informations when you are creating the character. I don't know for this the data. Let's open the data and see. Bear with me, my awesome. It's up. So Jadida here. This is the character, right? The character has the instance fictional human male formed by this most lagging questions or things to add. Now, for instance, you ask for this is where you add okay, so even this fiction and family name. Okay. Use one example, GOT. I think give us a link.
Did Mark time out? Mark, are you there? Maybe he's having internet issues.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, my network just kicked me out of. Okay, let me share my screen again. My network, let's see. Celsius, let me try joining with my phone. I'm using my system. So I will join with my phone. You will help me share the screen. I will just be explaining. I don't know if that will be okay. The network is too poor for sharing, yeah.
So Merit, why he tries to reconnect, you can add, also known as, after adding the description of the character. In this case, we used the Jedida. We said, a character in the film, a tribe called Judah. So there's where you add also known as, and you can add that as Mamemeka, which was her other name. If you're documenting what they call character, a fictional character, yeah, they might, after adding those two things, you can select the detailed statement, fictional character, to identify that this person is a fictional character from the movie you had described in the description box. And then you can also add a statement to connect who played the character. And in that case, if like we are trying to document Jedida, if Funke Akindele had already been documented on Wikidata, you can just select that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. I'm trying to save us time because we still have the Wikimedia Commons aspect to go through. So do we want to take a break or do we just get right into it?
Let's get right into it.
Who else thinks so? So that it doesn't okay. Kane Alade. Okay. Uh So you need to let me know if you can see my screen. Just drop a yes or thumbs up, anything to indicate you can see my screen clearly. Okay. Thank you, Nancy, for letting us know. Let me make it better for you guys to view. Thank you so much, Mark, for those explanations and answering those questions. We definitely would have any other person who has questions reach out, maybe through the campaign Telegram group, so that we can address whatever questions they might have. So as I had earlier mentioned, the campaign launches today, and we had planned to stop it by 1st of June, but due to popular demand, we had to push it to 17th. So it's safe to say you have a month to binge on us. And I had mentioned the price tags and the price categories. Premium Netflix subscriptions. Some price categories have up to 1 year premium Netflix subscription. Some 6 months, some 8 months, I think, some 4 months, some 3 months. I don't think, there's any other campaign doing this in our space. So you're welcome. Bring in your best, bring your A game. On today's part 2 of the training, I will be handling Wikimedia Commons, Creative Commons licenses, and intellectual property rights. Like I said, this particular part of the session has 2 purposes: to help equip you for the campaign and to keep you out of prison. Trust me, it could just switch at the least time you expect it. But because we live in Africa where a lot of people just, do anything with people's work. Someone posts a picture of her child on WhatsApp, you just screenshot it and repost because you want to wish happy birthday. There are places where if you try this, they will sue you blind. So the aim of this session is, one, to help you understand how to, contribute to Wikimedia Commons for the sake of this campaign, and two, to, help you stay out of trouble and, yeah, stop you from being sued. No, Ngozi, it's not only Wikidata that is allowed in the campaign. There's Wikipedia and there is Wikimedia Commons, like I'm trying to teach now. So these are the three Wikimedia projects we're contributing to for now. That is not up to me, Theophilus, and it's a film-specific campaign. So the aim is not to, incentivize people with cash. No, the aim is to get in people who want to do this, who understand the need to do this. Thank you. So going forward on this, we'll be treating the following content. What is Wikimedia Commons? What is, Creative Commons license? Why do we use Creative Commons licenses? The types of Creative Commons licenses that we have, how to use Creative Commons licenses, talk about attribution and whatnot, how to upload media files to Wikimedia Commons, how to, add an additional category to your upload, how to add a file to the body of maybe a Wikipedia article, how to add an image to an infobox, and then understanding the fair use of images and film posters on English Wikipedia, for instance, and intellectual property rights. So first, I know Benedict had tried to highlight what Wikimedia Commons is. And just for emphasis, I would like to let you know that it's the media repository of free use images, sounds, other media, and maybe media type files for Wikipedia and its sister projects. What does this mean? When you go to any Wikimedia project or Wikipedia page and you see an image or thereabout, just know that they didn't just, fall from the sky. Apart from the ones that have, fair use distinctions, that's on English Wikipedia, the rest came from Wikimedia Commons, or the rest come from Wikimedia Commons naturally. It's a project of the Wikimedia Foundation, of course, and the media files, that are there are released under a Creative Commons license in the upload process. You can't publish anything on Wikimedia Commons without choosing the type of Creative Commons license that you want it released under. And then what are Creative Commons licenses? Simply put, these are licenses that, are public licenses used to indicate what, people are allowed to do with your work. Some people might not understand how this affects the creative industry. It does affect it 100%. Let me make an instance. You are an actress or an actor, and, you, or a director, to be fair, you sort of create a movie, and in the process, someone, a graphic designer comes out with a film poster for you, and then you own the copyrights and all that, depending on the kind of arrangement that you have with the graphics designer, because you can't own copyrights to what you did not create. Even if maybe you own the laptop the person used in creating it, even if you paid for the, let's say, Canva or InDesign or Adobe Reader the person used in creating it, it does not belong to you. It belongs to that person, and that person has to transfer the rights to you either through a written contract, maybe for payment. that says, if I pay you so amount for this work, automatically you've transferred your right of ownership to me. Yes, it could be your phone, it could be anything, but as long as you're not the one that created it, you don't own the copyright, please. Don't say, but you use my camera to, take this picture, or use this to do that. No, if you're not the person who directly took the shot, made the design, you could be the maybe brain behind the concept where you told the person, use this color, put the color like this. That's all you did. It doesn't belong to you. The person who was moving the mouse, rendering the final work is the original owner. So know that at the back of your mind. You can't own what you did not create. You cannot own the right to what you did not create. Yeah. And then why do we, use, or why should we use Creative Commons licenses? Why do you think we indeed need to use Creative Commons licenses? Just give me a minute. So why do we use Creative Commons licenses? I apologize. I'm also coordinating the French speaking session, which just started on the same subject. So I have to make sure that they are all right. So first, we want to make sure that every creative work that has been automatically protected by copyright, can be used without the people intending to use it having to look for the author as the copyright owners to get permission. Let me give you an instance. Let's say Caroline Seaman here, produces a movie. She's a filmmaker by profession. And then, you are not privileged like myself to know her directly or have her phone number. And you see maybe one of her movie posters somewhere. So if you're not privileged to know Caroline Seaman directly, you would have to think about where you can corner her. Maybe you find out, she will be attending maybe Women International Film Festival of Nigeria. You can block her there, but if she doesn't show up there, you have to start looking for her office address or her phone number. So that's how stressed you can easily be when it comes to, trying to get the owner of the copyright to allow you or give you permission, to use his or her work. So that's why we use Creative Commons licenses, so that on merely seeing it, as released by the owner, you already know what to do with it. And then CC licenses, they provide a simple, standardized way to grant copyright permissions, for a creative work. Creative Commons licenses also, empower the creators to give implicit permission on, everyone to use, share, and remix their work without needing to ask, at each instance. Imagine where maybe someone produces like 5 creative works, and at each instance where you want to use it, or use any of those, you have to look for the person, to ask for permission. It will get very, very tiring at some point. And then Creative Commons licenses can be multi-layered, allowing more or less freedom. So when you see the list of the Creative Commons licenses that we have, you can understand that maybe some of them are, more free than others. So what are the types of Creative Commons licenses that we have? The first is CC0. You can represent it with the CC in the circle and a 0 sign. When you see this type of Creative Commons license, what it simply means is that the owner wants you to use the work. When you see this type of Creative Commons license under any work, it means the owner wants you to use the work without an attribution. Like, he doesn't require you to attribute the work to him. The work can be shared, recreated, copied, remixed, etc., including for making money purposes, for commercial purposes. You can use the work anyhow you want without, mentioning somewhere that this is the original owner of the work. This is the most free of all the Creative Commons licenses in a nutshell. Then we have CC BY. CC BY means when you see it under any creative work, or when you see any creative work, that was licensed under this, you would just know for sure that the work can be adapted in whatever way. However, you must attribute, respect and mention to the original owner, the original author. You must mention who owns it, why you are trying to use it. So you can see we've gone from the one that is totally free, that doesn't laden you with any burden, to the one that has one burden of you mentioning the owner. And then we have CC by SA. CC by SA simply means Creative Commons by an author, and then you share alike. This means that when you see a work released under this license, know that this work can be adapted as you want, but you must attribute it to the owner. And you must share this work again using the same CC by SA Creative Commons license. You can't use, you can't share the work using, let's say, CC0 or CC by. If you meet this work under this license, CC by SA, you must release the work under this same license while attributing it to the owner, still, the original author. That's it. And then there is CC by NC. This NC means non-commercial. When you see a work released under this license, this Creative Commons license, know that the work can be adapted, remixed, or used anyhow you want, but you must attribute to the owner, and then you must not sell it or use it to, do any commercial thing in exchange for money. Just remix it as you want, attribute to the owner, but don't collect money for this work. Don't get paid for using this work. And then there is CC by NCSA. When you see this license, it means that the work released under this license can be used with attribution, which means you must mention the original author, and then it can also be remixed and adapted as you see fit. But you must not sell this work. You must not collect money for this work. And then you must also share it under the same license, CC by NCSA. And then there is CC by ND. When you see a work released under this particular license, CC by ND, it means the work can be used with attribution to the original author, but you must not remix this work by any means. You must not adapt it. You must not edit it by any means. Simple. And then the last of these licenses, Creative Commons licenses, is CC by NCND. When you see a work released under this license, it means that the work can be used with attribution to the original author, but you cannot collect money for this work. You cannot sell it, and then you cannot remix it at all. So you see how we went from the very free one to the hardest one, like the most strict of all the Creative Commons licenses. If you have any question, any question by anybody?
Hello, Mr. Stanislaus. Hello. Hello.
Oh, yes, please, go ahead.
I asked a question in the chat box.
Oh, okay. And it says when you pay a photographer for a work and you're uploading it, which of the licenses do you use? Okay, does anybody have a guess for this question? Just guess. Okay, Nasima. Does anybody have a guess? Just guess at all. When you pay a photographer for a work and you're uploading it, which of the licenses do you use? So when you pay a photographer for a work, you must acknowledge first that except you have a written agreement with that photographer that says you collecting money for this work automatically, transfers the copyright ownership to me. Please know that 100% it's not your work to upload. So what do you do? Let me show you what you do. There is a way out of it. The thing is, you can use any license under the Creative Commons to release it, but you must tell them, I'm not the owner of this work. And there is how you tell them that you're not the owner that helps them to wait for you to have the owner, sending the permission for you to release these pictures. I'm going to share my screen outside the slide so that you can see what I mean. So 1 minute. Okay, trying to. Oh. Where is my Creative Commons? I just want to show us, practical how to navigate this type of situation. Okay, I think this should work. Can you see my screen? Please indicate if you can see me. Okay, cool. All right. So when you are trying to upload a work that you don't have copyrights to, like in this case that Ngozi asked, she paid the photographer quite all right? And she wants to upload it. It's not, she doesn't own the copyright, except there is an agreement. Even when there is an agreement, the virtual release team on Wikimedia Commons would want to have the person send, or the photographer send a permission for the work that Ngozi is trying to upload. The fact that you paid for it does not give you full ownership to use as you want. That's why I said there is too much anyhowness going on in Africa. It does not give you the ownership at all. It does not. So what must you do? When you are uploading, for some very weird reason, my Wikimedia Commons is not loading. But when you're uploading, please make sure you select that this work does not belong to you. For those of us who have been to the platform, which I also will be showing us maybe when it's open, select that this work does not belong to you. It's safer. However, when you get to where you are asked to, mention the source from where you got the work, can you see this code on my screen? Can you see this code? Just type yes. Okay. So it looks like a bracket, but it's not actually a bracket. It's a code where you add sub st, then you use your semicolon, and then capital letter O and capital letter P, and then you close with the same code, and then put your straight stroke there. When you ask for the source of that image or that upload, just copy this code and put there for them. I can also put it on the chat space. Copy this code and put there for them. What this code tells them is, oh, yes, I don't own the copyright to these things I'm uploading, but I will get the, person who owns the copyright to send permission. So this automatically stops you from, having your uploads speedily deleted. I don't know how many of us have witnessed that on Wikimedia Commons. Speed deletion does not only exist on Wikipedia. The minute you declare you're not the owner of the work, and then you don't add this code to your upload, speedy deletion. And sometimes when you declare you're the owner of the work, those guys, I like how they do their work. Sometimes they find out you're not the owner, and they will reach out to you and give you maybe a week, 2 weeks, sometimes months to have the owner send permission for you to use this work. How do you get permission? Let me see if I can get that for you. So once you, upload by adding this code successfully, the next thing you should do to help your life is also to have the owner send permission to the team at the VRU team at the Wikimedia Commons. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So there is an email dedicated. I'm dropping that email on the chat space now for works that you don't have the copyrights, but you know the owner of the copyright. So what you do is you send the person that owns the copyright this email address. It's on the chat space. You send the person this email address and the link to the upload after you are done. What does this help you to do? This helps you to have the person contact the Wikimedia Commons team and highlighting the link to the upload, saying, I'm giving this person the permission to upload this. So in the back end, what you would see is that, you know, the upload is done by you, but the author is that person when they process this permission or this request. On this campaign, I've been doing this almost every week because we have movie posters, film posters that are notable. I don't know how many of us have seen the Nigerian movie called Mami Water. I think it won an award for one of the AMVCA categories. They just concluded. So, we got in touch with the director, and the producer. So they own the rights to the film poster, which we don't own. So they don't have the time to come and maybe sit listening to this type of lecture on how to upload stuff and what have you. So what did they do? They send the film posters to me. I upload, and when I'm asked who owns this, I tell them I'm not the owner. And then I add this code on where, they ask about source. And once I add this code, they just tell me to have them email permission to this email I just shared with you guys now. And they email that. And if you go to Wikimedia Commons now, you have the Mami Water original film poster. It was not there. It was only released under fair use on Wikipedia. And you cannot push it from Wikipedia to Wikimedia Commons. That's a serious copyright violation. Yeah. Does anybody have any question? Does anybody have? Martin, I like the fact that you mentioned book covers. So one of our, we are inculcating African literature to the AfroCreatives campaign next year. So we definitely will be dealing with book covers, among other things. Does anybody have any question with this explanation I just made now? Anybody at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah, I
ask.
want to ask a question.
Okay.
When it comes to commons, or when it comes to uploading, you just mentioned the CC licenses we are supposed to use. So what are we expected to upload in this program, this context? Because all the films, everything on movies and whatever, I don't understand what you are supposed to upload.
Okay.
Is it the jacket? Is it? I don't understand. And
Okay.
when we snap or when we take pictures of them, are we not violating the copyright ownership of the original owner or something? I don't understand what we are supposed to snap and upload when it comes to WikiActive.
Okay. We are getting there. The discussion is getting more interesting. So for this contest, we are looking for images of actors. Maybe you went to a wedding and you saw one of the actors or actresses or movie producers or directors or screenwriters or makeup artists. Maybe you were at the last AMVCA. I don't know if you know, but this campaign, we're partnering with a lot of film organizations and African film stakeholders across Africa, like FESPACO, like the WIFIN, Women International Film Festival of Nigeria. We're partnering with Actors Guild of Nigeria and the other guild for producers and the rest of, the team outside acting. We're partnering with Tanzanian Film Board. We're partnering with the Moroccan, I think, film festival. So a lot. So these guys are the guys who, they meet these actors either at events, they meet these producers either at on sets. Film stills, by the way, if you've been on sets on a movie production set, those are BTS. Maybe you have a BTS of an actor. We actually want you to upload that. If you have a film poster, even if it's for a promotional purpose, by all means, bring that in. If you have rights to, let's say, a movie soundtrack in the African scene is becoming a big deal now. For those of us who have seen this Nollywood movie, Aha Mefula, there was a soundtrack there that is making waves now. It's very notable now. So people are looking for this. So what you just saw on Wikidata is how to document things like that. Let's say you were documenting Funke Akindele and somehow you bumped into her in Lagos and you took a selfie with her. If you find a way to, crop yourself out of the selfie and we have just a Funke Akindele, image, that is a good image. I was on a flight to Rwanda, I think in 2022. I bumped into the captain of the Nigerian archery team, this Olympic sport that they do. So right there, he was sitting beside me. I brought out my phone and took shots of him because I had read an article on this guy on Wikipedia, English Wikipedia, and there were no pictures. So imagine bumping into him on my flight. I took the opportunity immediately. I once bumped into Mikel Obi, the international football player, on Qatar Airways. I took a shot. Everywhere I meet these people, I take a shot. So those happenstances could also be your case. And you can, easily bring these things and upload them. Stella, what do you mean by a list to help first timers? Yes, we have a list of things to create and all that. Oh yes, Ngozi, these guys are stars. They are used to fans, asking them for photos. Except maybe when they say no. But when I bumped into Mikel, they were like, Mikel, I'm a huge fan. So can I, take a shot? I was like, sure. He was trying to check in over the counter. He just, leaned over. We took that photo and he went to his, business class. And I went to my economy humbly. But I already got the picture. So yeah. So that's it. You're expected to, usually upload things you have rights to. But if you don't have the rights, find a way around getting the people who own the copyrights. That's it. So having explained this, which has cost us deviation, I'm going back to the, what's it called? Slide. Yeah. But it was necessary to have shown you guys this. A lot of Wikimedians even don't know that there is something like this. They just upload and then somebody might be having a bad day as an admin. He just, deletes it without even asking you sometimes. So yeah, what are the key concepts, for the Creative Commons licenses? The main themes of CC licenses are first, original author. There must be an original author. You cannot license what you did not create, as I said some minutes ago. It doesn't matter if you paid money for it. If you didn't create it, you practically don't own the copyright. And then coverage. Creative Commons can be applied to all copyrightable works, including books, plays, like, I think it was Martin that mentioned the book covers, plays, movies, music, articles, photographs, blogs, and, websites. For those of us who use the Lingua Libre website by Wikimedia France, it's of course under Creative Commons. And then adaptation includes, copy, distributions, editing, remixing, and building upon an existing work or its related concepts. That's what adaptation simply means. And then law, work licensed under a Creative Commons license is governed by applicable copyright law. That's for sure. You must obey that copyright law of, the Creative Commons licenses. And then derivative work. This means a work based upon the actual work, or upon the work and other pre-existing works. You see a work and then you do something on it to have something new to your taste. Something like that's a means of derivation. And then it could also be a translation, musical arrangement, dramatization, fictionalization, etc. These are all the themes of, CC licenses. And then you might not know there are platforms that use Creative Commons licenses for sure. You might know some of these platforms that you see on the screen, like Flickr is very popular, Bandcamp, Wikipedia. For those of us who didn't know, Wikipedia is a baby of the Creative Commons. Just that, in quotes, it has become more popular than Creative Commons. Yeah. YouTube, for sure. If you're trying to post a YouTube video now, you could select the Creative Commons you want it to be released under. Internet Archive, Vimeo, and of course, Wikimedia Commons, then FMA or IFMAS, Skills Commons, Europeana, it's based in Europe, of course, Tribe of Noise, Jamendo, MIT OpenCourseware, Plus. These are all Creative Commons platforms. They use the license, right? And then how do you apply this license to a work? Now, this work was made by me. For those of us who knew, I used to host this podcast on the Wikimedia space. I hosted, I think, for like 3 years. So this image of masks you're seeing was a separate image altogether. And then I used graphics to put all these things you're seeing, this orange path, this write or Wiki Africa hour, this Wiki Africa logo, this Wiki in Africa logo, all these write-ups. I used graphics to build upon this image. So I adapted it, I reused it, I remixed it, in quotes. And then how do you attribute this kind of work? There's what we call the TAS-L method. TAS-L simply stands for title, author, source, and license. Right? I did it somewhere here. Let me see if I can zoom in for your sake. That would be very helpful for better comprehension. I did it somewhere at the bottom of this particular work. So that when you are using it, and of course, you must not do it on the body of the work, please. If there is an opportunity to add a description, a tagline per se to the work, that's the better place to use it than on the body of the work to avoid, in quotes, denting it. Let me see if I can zoom in really to have you enjoy the closest view. I think I might still have it somewhere on my drive. Yes, I still have it somewhere. So can you see my screen? Oh. Just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
And you can
We
still
are seeing
see
your
the
slide.
mask. Okay. Just the slide, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me show you this. So the TASL format is your best friend, especially if there is no place to add caption on the image. Can you see this line underneath here?
Yes, yes.
For those
Below
of
the
us,
TASM.
oh no, it's underneath the Wiki in Africa logo. Can you see it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Wiki in Africa logo.
There is a line here. Can you see
Yes.
it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Just
yes.
zoom your screen.
Okay, let me zoom further so that everybody can see it. I know some people have bad sight like myself. So can you see where we have image here, right? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So first you put the name of the image or the title of the image. Now the image itself, like I said, was just a picture. And the person uploaded to Wikimedia Commons and titled it African Masks in Nairobi 01. So that's the title taken care of. Do you understand? Then followed by author. So I wrote by user Ninaras. And that's the person that uploaded this work on Wikimedia Commons. That's the person that uploaded to Wikimedia Commons. So title and author taken care of. Then I put a comma and mentioned Wikimedia Commons, which is the source. Remember I said TASL is the format to attribute properly. So the source where I got this picture from is Wikimedia Commons. It could be Flickr, it could be anything. But just make sure you mention the source. It could be a website. And then after mentioning the source, I mentioned the license under which this user, Ninaras, released this work of African masks. Do you understand? This is how to do full attribution when you don't have, a space to caption and add. But if you have a space to caption and add after, putting the image up, please, by all means, use that space to do this. Okay? Do you understand? If you understand, just say yes on the chat space. Okay, Namdi, you have a question?
Yes, please. I have a question. In a scenario where you don't know the particular license that was attributed to the image, what would you do in that case?
If there is no license that was attributed to the image,
If you don't know the particular license, maybe you don't know if it's CC by SA or other license, you don't know the particular one that was attached to the image.
if you don't know the particular one, my sincere recommendation to help keep you out of prison is to leave it alone. Look for the one you know the license. I will see if I can, but once it had been uploaded to either Wikimedia Commons or Flickr or any of these platforms, any of those platforms I showed us on that last slide, the license is mentioned. The license under which it was released is always mentioned. They know that it's a tricky subject. So, they try to be human so that you will not say you were not told or you didn't see it. Does anybody else have any other question? Any other question? Please, this is a very sensitive subject. That's why I'm taking my time to, demonstrate things, show us things firsthand. Any other question? Okay, if there's no other question on this subject, then we move to the next It's an interesting topic, I know for sure, but you know, you need to understand it perfectly well so that nobody will sue you tomorrow, and so that you can also probably teach other people. So back to our slide. One minute, please. Can you see the slide now? Okay. So we have to get hands-on when it comes to subjects like, you know, how to upload media files to Wikimedia Commons, how to add an additional category to, you know, your upload, how to add a file to the body of an article, and how to add an image to infobox. So I'll go back to sharing my screen. Like I usually say, before you upload anything, make sure you are like you are logged in and you can see your username here. Can you see where my username is? Can you see where the cursor is?
Yes.
Please make sure you are logged in. That way it can, you know, track your edits, and the admins can easily, you know, make sure that it's not a bot activity, because if you don't log in, what they will see will be only IP addresses. And that is very spooky in the side of an admin. Once he sees only IP addresses, he gets spooked that this could be a vandal, and you could just easily end yourself blocking. I know you don't want that. So first you go to the Wikimedia Commons website. As you can see, there are over 100 million freely usable media files on this platform. You don't have to pay anybody any money for it. Just come here and use away according to the license under which it was published. So let me see. So once you are here, you select upload. And you allow it to load. For this campaign, we have, you know, a customized upload funnel, which, you know, we will be sharing for those that have things that they have rights to and they want to upload it. Why is my network sabotaging me today? Please be very patient with me as this network behaves itself eventually. since we are here, the next step is to select the stuff you want to upload. So I go to select media, and I know for sure that this is not here on Commons because I designed it and I have not uploaded it. So once you select the media, please, I want to be sure everybody can see my screen. You need to pay attention here. Okay. Thank you, Stella, for indicating. So once you are here, you select continue. Please, on this particular space, you can upload up to 50 files at once. If you want to upload more than that at once, you use the Open Refine platform that allows you to maybe upload up to 100, I think up to 500 or so at once. But for Wikimedia Commons Upload Wizard, the normal platform, it can allow you to upload up to 50 files at once. So you select continue. And here you are, where they ask you if this is, your own work and anyone is free to use it. So Ngozi, if this were not my own work, the Christian thing to do is to say, this is someone else's work, and is free to share, right? So they will ask me, I'm giving an instance now of the initial theoretical illustration I made. So when you select that this is someone else's work, you can upload someone else's work as long as it is published under a free license or so. So they ask you, do you know what Creative Commons license this work was published under? This work has never been published anywhere. It's just sitting pretty on my laptop. So you can simply say, no, I don't have this information, because if you were not me, you wouldn't know that this work has not been published anywhere under any license. So this number 2, where did you find this work? Enter the website, the book, or another source. This is where you put the code. This is where you put that code I shared with us on the chat space. How many people remember that code I shared with us on the chat space? Let me also put it. This is where you put it so that you will not enjoy or attract speedy deletion to yourself. I know nobody enjoys speedy deletion. I'm sorry. So if also you generated this work using an artificial intelligence, so you have to check this box. So, because now AI is a thing, and, we on Wikimedia space, we're trying to also not be left behind by this Gen Z generation. So on the 3rd, if it's not your work, they will ask you, enter the name of the original author. So when I was uploading the Mami Water movie poster, and after putting this, I entered the name of the movie producer here, generically. But if you don't know, you can check the box. I do not know who the author is. Like in my case now, if you didn't know that this work was created by myself, Ceslos, you can just check this box. And after you check this box, and then you go to please confirm the following statement before producing. I confirm that this work does not include material restricted by copyright, such as logos, posters, cover art, etc. And this is just to the best of your knowledge. But the mere fact that you've declared that this is not your work and you've put this code under the number 2 space, you are covered. So just carry on. But since this is my work, I will just go ahead and say this is my own work, and anyone is free to use it with my full chest because I created it. And then I select where they ask, is this entirely your work? I select this is entirely my work. If it's not entirely your work, you're also allowed to, select the work, contains the work of others. Or if you're generally using an AI tool, by all means, you have to indicate that. But this is entirely my work, so I'm good to go. Now, the Creative Commons license or licenses, they are currently on the 4.0 version. So that's what you will see here. And the current update on our Wikimedia Commons platform for uncustomized, what's it called? Upload or uncustomized upload wizard. So you can see the CC0 I had told you guys of when I was explaining this. You can see the Creative Commons attribution 4.0. So you can see what I had mentioned earlier, that CC0 releases all rights. Anyone is free to use this work in any way they see fit. If they decide to attribute to you as the author, fine. If they decide not to, fine. So the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 requires the person using this media to give appropriate credits, depending on what I choose, where he took it from, who designed it, and all that. And then the third one, the CC by SA, you can see it share alike, like I had mentioned, requires a person using this media to give appropriate credit and distribute under the same license. So you won't just use it, but also release under share alike 4.0. So I'm in love with this one that says share alike. You can find your own love later on. And then where they say, please select the option that best describes the purpose of this work, I select this work provides knowledge, instructions, and information to others because it's about our training sessions on this AfroCreatives Wiki Project plus Film. So here now, this is the name I used to save this design automatically. Wikidata and Wikimedia Commons. So I make it elaborate and more descriptive training sessions in French. Simple. So caption, if I like, I generally put the caption. I can copy the same thing and put here. Then you can add captions in various languages. So if you are like me, who speaks French and understands French, you can say français. Session de formation, Wikidata et Wikimedia Commons. So you can select Igbo too if you want, or any other language of your choice that you can, After that, then I select the date. So I created this maybe 3 days ago, but then you either select the date it was created or the date it's firstly being published, or it's been published for the first time. So I select today's dates. I don't like worrying myself. So here now, on that special upload funnel that we created, you automatically see African film and television. It will select automatically. That's for sure. But then, how can you add an additional category besides this? On our own, yes, you can select, this category is automatically selected, but I like to also add that this is an AfroCreatives Wiki Project item. Before I even finish typing it, but make sure that the category exists already, please. If not, it will just show red, it won't show blue. So I already created AfroCreatives Wiki Project category on Wikimedia Commons since last year. So on our own, you would see country here, where you select the country, that applies to your upload. Since we are talking about actors, film posters, and whatnot, producers. If it's a Nigerian producer that I was uploading his picture now, I will just select producer here. Sorry, I will just select Nigeria here. And of course, here I would mention maybe a photo of blah, 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 or a portrait of blah, blah, blah. So since it's Nigerian, on our own upload funnel, which I might also show us shortly, I select Nigeria. And then it categorizes, images of African film and television in Nigeria. Simple and short. When you are done with all this, you've seen how I added the extra category. You just select publish. And this work stresslessly publishes itself. Here you can add a Wikidata item if you want. But there is a satellite drive outside this campaign period that will be during this Wikidata specific depicts. So, you can just let this slide by skipping this step. And your work is uploaded to Wikimedia Commons. Just like that. Does anybody have any question at this point? Any question at all? Okay. If there's no question,
kindly paste the categories on the chat.
Oh, okay. For the African film and television category, don't worry. Our customized upload one already has it to select it automatically for you. What I only meant was in case you wanted to add any other, extra category. The one I used, AfroCreatives Wiki Project, is just for fun purpose, but let me also drop it on the chat space. AfroCreatives Wiki Project. So for you, maybe why you're adding that, you might specifically see the need. Let's say, Martin, you're uploading a film poster from Namibia. And there was this particular series that drove us crazy. I think it was called Windeck. So all of us were following that around Africa, but it was, set in Namibia. So maybe you were uploading, let's say, the poster from that particular TV soap or TV series. After selecting the country, Namibia, you can say, okay, film in Namibia as the extra category, which I think exists for sure. There is a category of, films from Namibia or Namibian films or Namibian cinema, something like that. Could be your extra category that you might want to add. So we have handled these two now. How to upload media files to Wikimedia Commons and how to add an additional category to your upload. So let's move to how to add a file to the body of, an article. So let me go to Wikipedia. Oh, sorry, this is our campaign hub. So all those things we were asking, Stella, if we had, we have a bunch of red lists here, you would be spoiled with choice, trust me. But then this is not why I'm here. I wanted to show us something. So let's say we go to what film article now? let's say Funke Kindele, since we have used her as most of our examples today. So once I'm on this article, and maybe I have another, maybe let's pretend what I just uploaded now was an image of Funke Akindele. Let's just pretend that that was her image. So you can see the different parts of this article: early life and education, career, political career, because she was I think deputy governorship candidate for People's Democratic Party of Nigeria in the last election. So maybe I want to put, a picture under this particular segment, right? So what do? I come to edit, just click edit on that part. For the interest of this session, I'm using the visual editing because not all of us would understand if I were to use the source editing. So bring your cursor to where you want to put that image. So I want to put it here. So you can see where they have insert. So once I go to insert, you will see images and media, template, table, more, blah, blah, blah. So I won't bother about what is under more because I just want to put an image or a media file. It could be a video that you just uploaded to Wikimedia Commons. So I simply select that. And then it asks me to search for media. So this is simply showing me recent upload, but I will not use it because I want to show us something. So if you notice where I am now, you can see that the page is telling me thanks for uploading. Then it then said to use the file in a wiki, like I'm trying to use it on Wikipedia. Copy this text into a page, but I don't need to copy all of this. So what I need to do is just copy from where you have Wikidata to where you have a PNG, and then go back to this place and search. By mere searching, it would show you the results here. Forget about all these other ones, please. I don't know where they came from, but I know what I was looking for, so it's here. So for those who, for Namdi who had asked, what if you don't know the license? It's not possible that you don't know the license. You can see the summary here now. It even showed you the pixels. Then where you have Creative Commons license, you can see that it's CC by SA 4.0. Author, you have Ceslos. Own work, uploaded by Ceslos, uploaded, it even gives you more details. So I simply select, use this image. And then if I want to add a caption, maybe I will say Funke. Let's say I took this picture at one of the political party rallies. I can say Funke Akindele at her political party rally. That's the caption I want to use. Then I select insert. Automatically, this picture will come on under here with this caption, right? And then don't forget to click publish when you're done. So remember to click publish, and then it brings up the edit summary. So automatically it has selected that I edited her political career. So I can just say plus image, which means I added an image. For the purpose of this campaign, for your entry or your edits, on any Wikipedia at all to be considered for our prizes, you must add the campaign hashtag, which is hashtag ACWP FESPACO 2024. This is the hashtag. You must add the hashtag. Best if you add it in capital letter before publishing, because we'll be using hashtag tools to track them. So once you've done this to tell the, admins, this is what I did here, you click publish and you are good to go. That's how to add picture to the body of an article. So I'm discarding this edit because this was just an example. So now how to add picture to an info box. So you come here and then you click edit on the article. Remember, an info box is a template. Don't forget. So you just click on this thing on the info box. Okay, if you click once, it would show you, the edit button for the template. So you can select it. It's fine. So let's say there was no image on this info box. Don't know if I can find, an info box that doesn't have an image, but it's fine. Once you're editing this template, where you have find field, by all means, if you didn't have an image, if there was no image on the info box, please search for image and then check the box. Once you check the box, the property will come out here for you. It's all the same way I just copied, the file name without adding file or any other nonsense they had there. With no nonsense, by the way, but any other item they had, that's the same way you should copy it and then put it here. Once you put it here, you are good. And then this apply changes will definitely highlight blue for you to publish like you just did now. So you click apply changes. And then it comes up. And then when you click publish, edit summary will come again. You can click, and say plus image to info box. Then if you had not added the campaign hashtag, by all means, add it before clicking publish changes. And that's how to put or attach an image to an info box. Does anybody have a question at this point before we go back to where we were? Okay, if there's no question, I'll take it that this was well understood. So we move to fair use of film posters / images on English Wikipedia. So what's fair use simply means if you have an image, it could be a film poster that, you will just want to put out for educational purpose or research purpose, you can upload it to English Wikipedia on the info box directly without bringing it to Wikimedia Commons. This image could, in fact, be restricted by copyright license. So, but you must mention the source as you're uploading it to English Wikipedia. So basically say if the image you wish to upload is not under a free license, but meets all of Wikipedia's fair use criteria, you can read it up. But basically once it's educational material or research material, by all means, then you are permitted to upload it directly into the English Wikipedia with a fair use rationale. Keep in mind that this is not permitted to upload fair use images into Wikimedia Commons, just like I had earlier mentioned, but it's permitted to do so into English Wikipedia. In addition to fair use images, it is possible to upload any image directly to Wikipedia, though doing so lacks some advantages of Commons, like choosing the appropriate license under which to publish it. let me show you guys something. So the particular film poster for this Mami Water that I had uploaded to Wikimedia Commons, I'm yet to, put it on Wikipedia. So this is the poster for Mami Water, but it was, uploaded to Wikipedia under fair use. It was uploaded to Wikipedia, to English Wikipedia under the fair use policy. So let me show us, the boxes that this fair use uploaded image checks. So you can say non-free media information and use rationale, non-free poster for Mami Water. So description, you already have to mention that this is a poster for Mami Water film. And then the poster art copyright is believed to belong to the distributor of the items promoted, the publisher of the item promoted, or the graphic artists. So remember I mentioned that the fact that you pay the graphic designer doesn't mean you own the rights. So first you must mention the source where you took it from. So in this case, I think it was taken from IMDb, the International Movie Database. And then the article, the Wikipedia article is Mami Water. The portion used, so it was the entire poster. If there was a low, if it was a low resolution template, you have to highlight it too. The one I uploaded to Wikimedia Commons is high resolution because we got it from the film director and the producer. So I will find my time to upload it. It's way better than this in terms of quality. And then the purpose of use, additional to main info box. The image is used for identification in the context of critical commentary of the work, product, and service. So this could simply mean research work. Simple. Replaceable, as poster the image is not replaceable by free content. Any other image that shows the same work or poster would also be copyrighted. So this is already the one I uploaded to Wikimedia Commons by virtue of Creative Commons licenses already has, copyright. So I can use it to actually replace that. So other information can be used of the poster art in the article complies with Wikipedia non-free content policy and fair use under, United States copyright law, as the case may be. So yeah, this is just a hands-on detail of the licensing, but this is what fair use upload looks like. This is just 40 kilobytes. The one I have from the movie producer is about maybe 6 MB. I don't know. So this is definitely low resolution. So that's about fair use. So we move to intellectual property rights. So intellectual property rights describes a form of property, which is the intangible output of the human creative mind. The scope would include copyright, which is the exclusive and assignable legal right given to the creator for a fixed time to print, publish, perform, maybe film or record literacy, artistic or musical material. In most situations, I think copyright is really 100 years or so. Then there is patent right, which is an exclusive right granted for an invention, which is a product, or a process that provides in general a new way of doing something or offers a new technical solution to a problem. I don't know why I feel like Tesla falls under this, stresslessly. Then there is trademark, which is a symbol, word, or words legally registered or established by use as representing a company or a product. Of course, there's also, trade secret as a type of intellectual property, which is a secret device or technique used by a company manufacturing its products. Coca-Cola is the first thing that comes to mind in this concept. So intellectual property rights, the threshold of originality is used in copyright law to assess whether or not a particular work or a portion of it can be copyrighted. It is used to distinguish works that are sufficiently original to warrant copyright protection from those that are not. So that's just to give you, an overview of what we are talking about. So looking at this photo, for those of us who drink spirits, this is Hawking V Sky Spirits Incorporated. This photo is eligible for copyright protection, but not the bottle. You can't copyright a bottle, but this image, merely looking at it, one should understand that this image is copy protected. Maybe it's a promotional image created by this company to promote their alcohol. And then there is what we call freedom of panorama. Simply put, that freedom of panorama is some sort of right that allows someone to, adapt or maybe make a video footage of a maybe public painting, a sculpture, an architecture or a text, and other creative works, within 70 years while the creator or the author is still alive, without, the permission of the creator under most circumstances. We call this exception freedom of panorama, or FOP. This means that if I created a work, and we are all in a country where there is freedom of panorama, any of you can, remix the work, adapt it without necessarily, reaching out to me within the first 70 years of me creating that work. This is the best way I can, explain it. Yes, Martin just mentioned they don't have it in Namibia. That's interesting to know. So unfortunately, there is no applicable freedom of panorama exception in not even many African countries. In fact, for those of us in Nigeria, as of 17 March 2023, there is no more freedom of panorama in Nigeria. This means that you can only adapt or make a photo or video of these, public works, paintings, sculpture, architecture, text, and other creative works. You can only adapt them 70 years after the death of the creator, unless you manage to get permission from the creator or the author. It's very insane to go by. So this indirectly could, impact tourism to a large extent, but not every government that is sitting on this knows how that could happen. But it's not all bad news. There are some African countries that enjoy freedom of panorama. Countries like Algeria, Angola, Egypt, Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Mauritania, Mozambique. Mozambique has the only way you can enjoy it is if you are using, photos that were taken in the Portuguese territory of Mozambique before 25th June 1975. I don't know how many of us were born by then. There's also freedom of panorama in Tunisia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. So out of 54 African countries, just a handful actually, enjoy that. So where this thing doesn't exist, the fictional panorama, there is Benin Republic. It doesn't exist there. Botswana, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, Comoros, DR Congo, Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Ethiopia, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea. I think this Guinea means Guinea Conakry. Ivory Coast, Liberia, Libya, Madagascar, Malawi, Mali, Mauritius, Mozambique. Apart from the picture I mentioned, taken sometime in the 75, June 75, 1975. And of course, like Martin just mentioned, it doesn't exist in Namibia. It doesn't exist in Niger. It also does not exist in, you know, Nigeria, like I had mentioned. Rwanda too doesn't have it. Senegal, Sao Tome and Principe, they don't have it. Seychelles, Sierra Leone, South Africa doesn't have it, but it's in progress thanks to the Wikimedia South Africa community that are rising to the occasion to defend, the reason why you should have freedom of panorama in South Africa. Sudan doesn't have it, Togo and Zambia. So if you're in these countries, please be careful. So this practically means that work created in this country that are, permanent, public displayed or publicly displayed may not be free. So you can't, use them except you find the owner within, their 70 years of creating these works. You can only use them 70 years after the owner or the creator of the work had died. So therefore, you may not take photographs of these copyrighted works without written permission, in fact, from the creator, or a clear evidence that it was way past 70 years already. But then it's not all sad and gloomy. There is a way, to navigate freedom of panorama. And that way is what we call the minimis. So the minimis is a concept in copyright used to describe the minimal or trivial use of copyrighted works in such a way that permission or consent of the work, doesn't have to be taken from the copyright holder. Let me show you what I mean by this. This is a picture. In this picture, you can see the inside of a plane, right? And then the plane or the occupants that are watching maybe film on their screens in front of them. So if you were to take, this picture now for your use without looking like you were trying to snap the film screen that they were watching, you use the minimis. So this is the minimis. The screen on, they're watching the films on is showing for sure. But you can easily claim you were taking, a wide angle shot of the plane, like the interior. So nobody nobody can say you violated any copyright here. This is the smart way. So this photo is acceptable as the copyrighted images, which is the images on the screen. Appearing on the screen are what we call the minimis. They are not, in quote, the main focus. But if you zoom in, you might be able to see everything that you need to see. Another example that is not violating any copyright, which is the minimis, is this picture of the Louvre pyramid in France. So this person wants to intentionally, of course, capture the pyramid. But instead of doing that, which would violate, the copyright possibly of the person who created this pyramid, this person went, for the wide angle and captured the whole plaza. So in this picture, you can see the plaza and you can also see the pyramid, the Louvre pyramid. And this person has not violated any copyright. It could be argued that he was trying to snap the plaza and the pyramid was just in his way. So this is how you can navigate things around where there are no freedom of panorama. And then freedom of panorama versus de minimis. In countries where there is no applicable freedom of panorama, if the copyrighted object, building, sculpture, artwork, etc. is incidentally captured, the principle of de minimis may apply, and as such, the image or footage is not infringing on any copyright. This is a picture of Burj Khalifa in the UAE. So UAE allows the freedom of panoramas only when used in broadcast programs. So you see, they have it, but it's restricted to only when you are using the particular work for broadcast programs. So that is still a restriction in my book. And then non-copyright restrictions, can also exist in some situations. Like in this logo of Chicago Union Station. I mean, if you are looking at this, it is not considered a work of authorship because it only consists of a text in a simple typeface and font. So it is not an object of copyright in respect to US law, for instance. However, this logo is still protected by trademark laws, right? So as much as you're not infringing on any copyright, let's say doing something like this, the trademark laws might also have some hindrances for you to remake or readapt something like this logo. Because, I mean, they don't own these fonts that they used in designing them. You can probably find them on your Microsoft Word. And then, what was her name? Ngozi had asked about, shouldn't you take permission to take pictures of these people? So in that case, we are coming to the second part of the non-copyright restrictions, which is, personality rights. So if you don't take permission and the person decides to ask you to take down the picture or delete it from wherever you upload it, the person is, 100% correct to make that very statement. Every person has a right to publicity, the right to control the commercial use of their identity, name, or image. I gave an instance of, you just see your friend's child's, picture. Maybe your friend posted the child on his or her WhatsApp on the child's birthday, and you just screenshot the stuff and repost on your own WhatsApp without asking, your friend who is the parent to the child. The child is underage and as such cannot give consent or not, ask for retraction of the image. So in that case, the custodian of the child is the person you need to ask. So Creative Commons licenses are irrevocable. You cannot revoke them. But if you take the picture of a subject, that subject, especially if it's a human being, reserves the right still to request that their image be deleted from Commons and any other website if they believe that the use of such image violates their personality rights, even though the image is protected by copyright. I'll give us an instance. When we were doing Wiki Love Africa, I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020 or 2021. Yes, 2021. Health and wellness. So we had to, the contestant had to go to hospitals to take pictures. And then, people are in the hospital vulnerable. We had made sure they asked the patients for permissions, how to take, for them to take their pictures, because you could take those pictures and then those patients can ask you to delete them. So that's how personality rights work. Okay. For reference purposes, the Creative Commons posters that I used on this presentation, I copied them from eCampus Ontario, and it's under the CC by 4.0 license. That was the license they released it under. And then this, work is also adapted from the faculty OER toolkit. OER stands for open education resources, and it's by the one by BC campus, which is also used under CC by 4.0 International Creative Commons license and all that. At this point, does anybody have a question? Please ask away. Ask away any question at all. Don't be shy. If nobody has a question, I will just stop sharing. Any question at all? Or it was all clear? I wouldn't want to see anybody getting sued tomorrow or anybody going to prison for violating copyrights. So please, I want to be sure that everything I've mentioned is clear to everybody. If it's clear, just say yes. I want to see a yes from everybody. That way I would know that at least everybody here will not be going to jail anytime soon because they understood the, the details of the copyrights I had shared just now. Okay. Stella said yes. Who else is not going to jail? Who else is not getting sued? Please let me know. Namdi, are you saying you're not getting sued? Or you want to ask a question?
Yes, I don't want to be sued, so I'm asking this question. I don't know if it's
Okay.
been mentioned earlier before.
Okay, go
On
ahead.
social media, if you post a picture of you on social media, maybe Facebook, Instagram, I don't know if there are licenses, maybe Creative Commons licenses to those social media pages, or I could go there and see those pictures and decide to use them for whatever I want to use them for. That's my question.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So for images on Facebook, I will recommend that before you even put it on Facebook, I know I've seen some images on Facebook that the licenses were mentioned, but Facebook doesn't have any automated license per se. So, in fact, I usually avoid taking pictures from Facebook, right? For two reasons. You don't know how opportunistic people can get just because we live in Africa. In the US, somebody can sue you for just taking a picture that they own copyrights to, but they will never mention it on Facebook that it was copyrighted until you use it. They could sue you up to the tune of $100,000, $1 million to claim damages. So by all means, avoid pictures from social media platforms. What do you do if you're a graphic designer and you're looking for free images to use? Let me add this as extra so that, we can improve our learnings. So you go to Google. Let me be sure you can see my screen. Please let me know when you're seeing my screen. Can you?
Yes, we can see now.
Okay. Please, if you're looking for free images to use, simply come to Google and let's say I'm looking for photos of African women. These results you see here are not all free, please. So don't use them. Rather, what do? You go to where you have images besides where you have all and select images. And then it brings you here. What are you here to do? You're here to narrow your search further down. So when you are here, you click on more. And then you will see tools. you go to tools, click on tools. These drop-down menus would show up. You have size, color, usage rights, type, anytime, advanced search. We are looking for usage rights. You click on this drop-down. What can you see here? Can anybody unmute their mic and tell me what they can see here?
Is that image rights?
Yes, usage rights.
Yes, usage rights. Yeah.
See, not filtered by license, Creative Commons license, commercial and other licenses.
Thank you so much, Stella. So without being told, since we just learned that Creative Commons licenses are free licenses, you avoid problem by selecting Creative Commons licenses. This automatically shows you the images that are under Creative Commons licenses, which means images that are free for you to use and adapt according to whatever Creative Commons licenses they were released under. Let me use here, for instance, you can see Wikimedia Commons, which you can see pixels. So if I select this one, Wikimedia Commons, for instance, you can see where it pops up a bit to the right here. It shows you the file name, which is Modern African Woman. And then I check for license details first to know the type of Creative Commons license that this was released under. I love to check first. So this is really, or this was released under CC by SA 4.0, share alike. So this means it's safe for me to use. So I then go back. I can click here to get, to where I can get a fine resolution of this image and then use it and attribute accordingly. Does anybody have question about what I just showed you now? Does anybody have any question about what I just showed you now? Any question? If there's no question, okay. So that's how to find your free images to use. Don't be collecting from social media, please. Just go to Google and take these steps I just showed you in your own best interest. Any free image you are looking for, just search for it, using some keywords. I'm sure you will find some free images under that to use. Thank you. It's nice you asked that question, Namdi. Does anybody have any other question? You're welcome, Namdi. Does anybody have any other question? Okay. With that, we can call it a day. And I say a special thanks to you all for being very patient throughout this session, and also being, an interactive audience, if I would say. So I'll just go ahead to stop the recording.